That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text DANDY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful ever, absolutely free. Text DANDY to 42424. That's DANDY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
What's wrong with being an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times?
Do you want to be an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times?
Yeah, I think I'd like to be an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times.
Then grab it.
Yeah! What's going on, all you scallywags out there and nutmeggers all across the fruited plain? Because a lot of them have just moved out, but they still listen to none other than WTIC News Talk 1080. No matter where they go, South Carolina, North Carolina, North Kakalaki, South Dakota, North Dakota, doesn't matter. They still listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. And I love it, and it's a pleasure to be here. St. Louis even listens all the way. Doesn't matter where they are out there. And I appreciate you for doing that as well. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842 is the number. So pick up the phone and give us a call. I am going to do the opening monologue. It'll probably be brief because I know I am so outraged about what You know, it was just the other day that a young man called here asking about the whole Frederick Douglass of the 21st century. And I don't even know if people really know this about me. But if there's anything in the world that irritates me, and I'll even go so far as to use the word hate. If there's anything that I hate, is people who use race as a wedge, a cudgel, whatever. I hate that. And sometimes I even get called out by my good friend Matt in Bristol. He said to me one day, I thought you kind of used the race card. And I got to check myself if I do to make a point. Sometimes I inject it in jest. It's a little ribbing. Black thing there. Sometimes it does in jest, but some people don't know that. And I understand it, but I hate it when people use it. And people use it, I said, as a weapon or to make a point. Because it never really has a point. And I love attacking it, but I know that sometimes this silver tongue, this absolutely vicious, awful intellect on this subject can get out of hand. And I might start ticking off a few people. Not that I mind. Not that I care. As I always say, I await the hate. Because people are going to bash me because I'm not a servant of their ideals. That I'm supposed to behave a certain way because of my skin color, not because of my intellect. Not because of my own ideology or my own experiences. So I need to talk about this because the California fires are not about race, nor should they be about DEI. They are about ineffective, inept individuals in government and in leadership in that state. What bothers me or why it's relevant is because this state models itself. The current leadership of this state models itself after what you were witnessing in the Los Angeles region. I haven't heard one word from Ned Lamont about following the nonsense seen by his good friend, good buddy, old pal, not as close as me and Chris Murphy, but his buddy, Gavin Newsom. Not once. Everyone is telling me, as California goes, so goes the country. I bet you they're not shouting that today. Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom are right now in the line of fire with their constituents. And believe it or not, folks, I believe all of this is preordained. I do. I was just texting somebody earlier. I said, isn't it weird that all of this stuff is happening before January 20th? It could have happened immediately after. That's all it had to be is January 21st, and this would have been, nope, I ain't got nothing to do with this. That's on Trump. But it's happening right before he takes office. And because of that, people are saying that it's Trump's fault because he won. Not like the people who were actually on the job were there to do the job. Everyone has checked out. Why have they checked out? Why is Karen Bass checked out? Why did she take a taxpayer trip to Ghana? And ironically, what was she in Ghana for? For a presidential inauguration. I don't think that was done on purpose. I thought that was done as a hood to the incoming administration. Yeah, I'm going to Ghana's inauguration, not the one in D.C. for that reprobate. Yeah. And God just has a way of responding, doesn't he? Does he? Oh, why are you injecting God? Because I can. Because I can. You can inject anything you want to. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic. I prefer to say everything is God. There is no coincidence. There are no coincidences. Gavin Newsom dragged the old bones of the current president out to California. For that man to do exactly what he always does. Say something completely out of sorts. Yeah, it's really horrible what's going on here in California, and people losing everything that they have, homes burning, and a very productive and very wealthy part of our country, and people who have worked so hard to buy their homes here are now burned down. But I got a great granddaughter. Yeah. And everybody's there and says, oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Just let the old man speak. It's almost over. All of this, I feel, was by intelligent design. Californians are now looking at an entire, what happened these past 3 days is a accumulation in one town of the governorship of Gavin Newsom. Everything that man has stood for in the last couple of months, since the election, before the election, everything he has done, in fact, the last couple of years, from COVID-19 to his commitment to helping the homeless that fails miserably, to the high-speed rail that he put billions of dollars in before one piece of railway was ever laid down. The fact that for the first time in, I don't know, 30, 40 years, a Republican garnered 6 million votes in the state compared to the 9 million of the Democrat. Almost 1 million people have left the state during his tenure. I mean, under his tenure, California lost an electoral college vote from 55 to 54. People in California are seeing the sea change for the first time, and they had to lose their livelihood in order to recognize it's too much for them. It's too much for them to bear. And people are watching this all over the country. And they're learning more and more because the information that's being flooded to them now is information they never had before. They never knew about the fire department losing $17.5 million. They never knew about the removal of white firefighters or the new fire chief hiring somebody to remove so-called bigotry within the department. They're starting now to learn about dams and reshuffling of the water lines in order to save a fish no one cares about. The DEI and the CRT and equity and all this other crazy leftist progressive nonsense. An entire city is on fire. Lives are ruined. And I got to ask the people on the left, I got to ask them one good question with the DEI stuff. Those people who are swearing by it, running around here talking about how much we need it. It must be here. When have you ever heard a story, ladies and gentlemen, where the news anchor said, thank God we had the transgender, polyamorous, left-handed, disabled BIPOC. If we didn't have that person, the world would crumble. Thank God we had that transgender, polyamorous, left-handed, disabled, bisexual, black, indigenous person of color to stop us from recklessly spending our budget. No one's ever said that. No one said, thank God for the transgender, polyamorous, left-handed, disabled, black, indigenous people of color for having a gun on them, shooting that bank robber and saving other people's lives. No one's ever said it. Nothing has ever benefited from having a lesbian fire chief. You can't name a place. You can't. You can't name me one statistic that says that having a bisexual or lesbian person of color has changed the outcome of a situation anywhere. Beyond the headline of that person getting the job, there has never been a story, a follow-up that says, thank God we hired that transgender person of color. Because look what the results were. Never. And you're never going to get it. And if you keep going down this road, folks, it's going to cost people lives. It's going to cost them their livelihood. It is going to destroy an entire country, and it'll work itself state by state by state. And it'll happen in the largest cities in our country because those are the ones that are the most woke. 860-522-WTIC. George is in St. Louis. How we doing, George?
Hi, Reese. I want to set aside the catastrophe of the Democrats. I want to make a proposal. The California has not had rain for 8 months, and I'd like to forward an explanation. Everyone, get out your globe right now. Put your thumb on the North Pole and your finger 600 miles to the west towards Siberia. What I'm proposing is the climate has changed from where your thumb is to where your finger is right now, and it's done that all over the world. What I'm saying is whatever the climate was 600 miles west into the Pacific Ocean, that is now the climate of California. And it's apparently a very dry climate like like New Mexico.
Yeah, like a
or
desert
Valley,
area.
or even Death Valley.
Right.
So what I'm saying is every point on the globe that was on your thumb has shifted 600 miles to the east, where your finger now is, and that's what's going on in California.
You know
It's
what
a
I think,
dry
George? Can I say
climate.
this? Let me interject in this. It is safe to say that the climate in California is indeed man-made because of feckless leadership, if you really think about it. Because just 9 months ago, not even 9 months ago, I want to say over 3 months ago, Donald Trump was talking about how California can at least contain many of these fires by allowing northern streams to flow all the way through to Los Angeles.
Yeah, but they weren't taking the tinder out of there either.
Indeed, right. It was no forest management. Right, no forest management to speak of. In fact, I saw the video.
They were cheap. They were cheap about the wrong stuff.
Exactly. I saw the video of Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom at one of these, wildfires. I think the one that happened in 2018. And, Donald Trump is trying really, really hard not to insult the governor to his face while he's there, but he's saying that things can be done to keep this kind of stuff from happening. And Gavin Newsom refuses to listen and run the risk of destroying the entire state.
Well, he's an actor. He's a lot like Harris, where he lacks any substance at all.
Yeah.
But what I'm proposing here, Reese, is we might be talking about a permanent dry climate for California. If they try to rebuild, it's going to happen all over again. A new house, a new tinderbox.
Yeah, indeed. It's exactly what you're right. You're 100% right about that. Thank you, George. I appreciate you, sir. Wall Street Joe's in New Hampshire, calling in early today. How we doing, Joe?
Yeah, hi. Quickly as I can. First of all, did you see any of that funeral service for Carter?
Yeah, I saw. Why do they keep putting Donald Trump next to Barack Obama? Boy, does that make for news.
Well, they say there was about a 4 or 5 minute conversation between the two of them, smiling and a lip reading expert claiming that Trump said to Obama, "We have to talk about this, but this isn't the place."
Yeah, they said they're going to get together after the funeral. Yeah, they're going to talk for about 5 minutes. I saw that report as well.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Getting to the fire chief. Well, as far as the service, though, you got all those people there. The Clintons, they're pushing 80. All these elderly people, all these corrupt people that have sold themselves morally, for the love of money. They got to be sitting there saying, "Gee, I'm going to be up there pretty soon, whether it's this year, next year, or 10 years, and what's going to happen to me? I've done all this stuff, ill-gained stuff."
They don't
Biden
care.
especially.
They don't care.
You mean they don't look at it in a spiritual way at all concerning their own mortality?
Of course not. No.
Well,
that's not
I
how
needed
that
your opinion
operates.
I needed your opinion on that. But, the mortality makes you think. If you have any spirituality in you at all, why are we here? You accumulate things, but, how you use them and help other people is what's important. Now, getting to the fire chief, this is a soundbite you need to get. It's out there because I saw it on TV. They had it was on Fox TV. They had a film clip of that fire chief. I guess when they hired her a year or two ago, they were celebrating it.
Yeah.
And she was being interviewed, and she has a shaved head like she's a chemotherapy patient.
Yeah. It talks about, I saw the video clip. It's the one that talks about how she's trying to, there is no limit to the DEI measures that she wants to meet. And they were celebrating the fact that she,
They asked her pointedly, "Is there a number you have in mind? At least a certain amount." She says, "There is no number. It's unlimited the amount of DEI we hire." And I mean that sums it all up.
That's all you need to know about. That's all you need to know about California. And again, like I said, look, it looks good on paper. It looks good in the news media. But again, remember what the bottom line is, and this is the shift that we've seen so far, Joe. The shift that we're seeing right now is that the government or the elected officials in that state as well as the news media that pushes the agenda of said, elected officials, those things are coming to a head. The fact that now there are Hollywood actors who are coming forward, who are now talking about this is just unsustainable, this will have ripples in the next in the next 2 years, and I promise you it will.
Look at Trump warned about this, like you said,
Indeed.
years ago, months ago, about the unkept, and it's all Gavin Newsom's policy to leave everything alone, and now it's a tinderbox waiting to flame up over and over again. So
forget this is his Waterloo. Listen, this is Gavin Newsom's Waterloo. He can pretty much, if this turns out to be exactly as I suspect, the response by the residents of that area or California overall, if the word continues to get out about his feckless leadership and what he did that could have didn't do that could have prevented this, Gavin Newsom is sunk because California was already a crap hole to begin with. This does not favor him in any way. 2028 is off the table.
There's no insurance. The insurance companies.
Exactly. That's another
money where your mouth is. They all got notice these last year. They're not being insured anymore because of the fire policy of Gavin Newsom. So insurance policies won't insure for fire. Now they have nothing. Even if you had an $8 million home, you have nothing.
That's right. That's exactly it. Thank you, Joe. We got to take a break, but Joe is 100% right. That whole deal with State Farm and Allstate and all the rest of that fire insurance in the area, forget about it. It's a mess. Gavin Newsom is off the table in 2028, and a lot of lives and a lot of livelihoods had to suffer for it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, your phone calls. Most importantly, when we return, it's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Not all products are available in all 50 states. Compounded products are not FDA approved nor verified for safety, efficacy, or quality. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. See website for full details.
Why try Hims for weight loss? If you're interested in personalized prescription options, including Ozempic, Wegovy, oral medications, and compounded GLP-1 injections, and the support to see real results, you might like it. Why try Hims to regrow hair? If a range of treatment options made with clinically proven ingredients like minoxidil and finasteride for thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months sound good, you might like it. Why try Hims for ED? If you've been looking for access to doctor-trusted treatments like Viagra, Cialis, and their more affordable generic counterparts, you and your partner might like it. The Hims process is simple, 100% online, and treatments are shipped free to your door in discreet packaging if prescribed. What's not to like? To save big on weight loss, hair loss, and ED solutions, get started today at Hims.com. That's Hims.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at Hims. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to Hims. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through Hims.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through Hims.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Fires continue to burn in the Los Angeles area. Firefighters are making slow progress. The fires have killed 5 people, wreaked destruction on areas from the Pacific Coast to Pasadena. Tens of thousands of acres have been burned. Over 1,300 structures have been either damaged or destroyed. Former President Jimmy Carter's remains headed back to Georgia following a state funeral today in Washington. President Biden eulogized Carter. Other living former presidents were on hand, as well as dignitaries, family, and friends. In New Britain, a child was injured when they were struck by a vehicle earlier today. The child was hit on West Main Street. The victim taken to Connecticut Children's in Hartford for treatment. State police say they've arrested 3 people in connection with an assault of another man Wednesday in Willington. Troopers say it was part of a large fight that broke out last evening at a business on Atomic Road. The 3 are being charged with various assault and breach of peace offenses. Supreme Court hears arguments over the fate of TikTok Friday. TikTok says it plans to shut down the social media platform in the U.S. by January 19th, unless the Supreme Court strikes down or otherwise delays the effective date of a law aimed at forcing TikTok's sale by its Chinese parent company. Firefighters in Westport performed an ice rescue this morning on the Saugatuck River. They worked to rescue a deer that had fallen through the ice. They donned cold weather suits and went out on a raft to pull the animal to shore. She was okay and able to walk away into a wooded area. WTIC News Time 3:31. Here's the forecast.
Windy for the rest of our Thursday afternoon with a mix of clouds and sunshine. It is going to feel very cold with a high of 30. Partly cloudy, still windy tonight, the low down to 22. On Friday, partly sunny, breezy, not as cold as it's been, but it's going to feel quite cold with that breeze and a high of 38. Cloudy skies Friday night, the low down to 25. Then Saturday, a coating to an inch of snow in the morning, otherwise variably cloudy, a high of 34. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
30 degrees, partly sunny skies in Hartford. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Explore McLean's award-winning assisted living and memory care. Join us for an open house on Saturday, January 25th from 10 a.m. till noon and experience the McLean difference. Discover how the right care at the right time can make all the difference in the world for your loved one. Enjoy live music in our living room and tour one of our few remaining assisted living residences. Live healthier, live happier, live better. Only at McLean. Join us Saturday, January 25th from 10 a.m. till noon. For more information, visit exploremclean.org.
Hey, basketball fans. It's Liam McNeely, your new freshman recruit. On the court, I know the power of teamwork. It's not just about one player. It's about the whole team coming together to win. That's why I trust the law firm of Brown, Panderis, and Scott. With Brown, Panderis, and Scott, you get more than just a lawyer. You get a team of dedicated professionals fighting for you, working together to make sure you get the best results, just like we do on game day. Remember, when it comes to your legal needs, choose the team that knows the value of teamwork. Visit bpslawyers.com. They're here to win for you.
Do you have plans this weekend to head to New York? Whether you take I-95 or the Merritt, you're bound to get stuck in traffic. Come visit us at Columbia Implant Center instead. One day, same day, 7 days a week. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Hey guys, it's Jim Costa from Cash the Ticket. If you're planning on betting the NFL playoffs, buckle up. Betting football's hard enough as it is. We're doing the research for you. So listen to Cash the Ticket with Mike Valeni and I. We'll be dropping new episodes for every single playoff game. And that's going to be storylines leading into it, so some good football stuff, but also the betting nuggets you're looking for. Sides, totals, trends, player props, throw those in there too. Pre-game and post-game, we're going to be all over the postseason. Subscribe to Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more first in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for myself.
Hey, that music that you had on that Reese on the radio song, is that a regular song or is that produced music?
It is produced, but like I said, it's from the. You talking about the theme music?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from the Dodgeball movie.
eBay. Things love. I want to learn how to cook. But
Okay. So
I plan to
Does
rearrange
that mean we're
my
gonna have to
closet,
change
but
it?
I stopped after picking clothes up off the floor.
I think we can get
But when
permission.
your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it
good luck with that.
Why not?
Babbel's
I mean, all I have to
award-winning
do is
language
just
learning
ask.
app will help you start
I can get in
speaking
touch
another
with Tom
language.
Morello's
Start
people.
having conversations.
I mean,
Oh, you mean like get permission from the artist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if you could do that, then yeah, gravy.
Yeah, because I mean,
Vous êtes où?
because I remember when
Babbel's
Limbaugh had that
bite-sized
problem
lessons
with
make it
Chrissy
easy to
Hynde
learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when
what's
someone
it, for the
asks,
song
"How's your French
Ohio?"
going?" You can say,
She publicly gave him permission to use the music. The record label gave him hell, but she publicly
when
gave
you
him
want to
permission.
really learn
So
another
Oh
language,
yeah,
I'll
okay.
just go
So
the same route.
Babbel.
yeah, you have to go the same route. Yep.
Yep.
Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS.
1 minute.
You're afraid to be scared, and they try to frighten you into.
I'm just cooking up. That's all. Just cooking up.
I got you.
Relief
I got
Advocates
you.
is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an 8+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any
Exactly,
longer.
Craig.
End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA. Or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, left my wallet in El Segundo. Got to give it up to them. A Tribe Called Quest. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alumni. When I started my rap group, Roland, I don't know if you knew this, but when I started my rap group, which was, again, called Beat Market, long story, I'll tell it another time. But yes, I am a failed rapper, and I proudly say failed rapper. But I had a group called Beat Market that I put together with my little brother Profile and my best friend, Jamie Montgomery, who was named Auto Rock. And his name was longer, but that was his name. Automatic Rocker. That was his name. And we put our group together. And my vision as the producer of that group was, in essence, a little blend of A Tribe Called Quest, The Far Side, and De La Soul. We were not gangsters. We were not hood guys. And we wanted to talk about anything and everything under the sun. We wanted to talk about not being able to get the girl. Because a lot of times, we did not get the girl. Primarily because Jamie Montgomery is corny. He would use the corniest lines known to man. If I could change the alphabet, I would put you and I together. Oh, he should have been banished for that line. Anyway, we'll get into a whole bunch of stuff. We got phone calls. 860-522-WTIC. Phones are lit up. Simsbury Joe is on the line. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as too.
Thank you, sir.
So, real quick, I wanted to address something George said because it is important. He said that about the 600 miles, and it's actually 680 miles. And I was surprised that what he left one thing out. His call was very accurate, but the one thing he left out was what has actually moved, and that is the magnetic pole of the Earth, the North Pole. So that is where you're going to see many more of these weather type of situations that are not going to be good for society. And I've talked about the poles moving a number of times because that has more to do with climate change than cows farting and people driving their cars.
Well, one of the key points of this, Joe, is, and when you're talking about the weather in all of this, the fires have nothing to do with the climate change. The huge part about this particular event, as it were the winds and the wind gusts that affected the fires in the area.
Absolutely. Yep. They were the biggest winds in about a decade in that area. But that's an example of, change that's going on because of things that are probably not in our control unless someone wants to prove that we're impacting our magnetosphere based on the technologies that we're using, which is a possibility. But I want to talk about two videos that really touched me.
Yes.
I know everyone's seeing a lot of different videos, and they touched me for different reasons. The first one is the example of the LA Fire Department possibly not having enough equipment because it was apparently a bunch of it was donated to the Ukraine.
That's correct.
and you have firemen using women's handbags.
Yes.
Throwing water onto a fire.
Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. I saw that just about an hour or two ago.
Yeah, I appreciate their heroism and their effort and everything, but when you look at that, you have to think, how disgusting is that? That those are the tools that these people have to use to try to douse a fire.
Yeah.
Women's handbags where they're being filled with water from the tank that's on the fire truck.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable video. Yeah.
And then the other one, you probably saw this one. If you didn't, I hope you do. There's a video of a guy standing on the side of the road. It's very dark, smoky, and he's waving his arms frantically. And you could tell that he's trying to get I assumed it's his pet, a dog, a cat. The fire's racing around him, and he's trying to wave his arms. Come over here. And then he picks up the animal and he walks off with the animal. And what was the animal? A bunny rabbit.
Oh, wow.
A wild rabbit that was so frightened that he was doing everything possible to get it to come to him. And then he picks it up, and I was shocked because it wasn't what I was expecting.
Right.
But it shows the good part of humans and how a small animal like that if I tried to chase a rabbit in my yard, I'm not getting within 25 yards of it before it's taken off.
Yeah.
That says a lot as well, that wild animal went all the way over to him and stayed there so that he could kneel down and pick it up and carry it off to safety.
Yeah. That's it. Like I said, some of these, I looked at that overhead photograph that came out today. I saw it. I think it was on Drudge Report was the first place I saw it, but now it's everywhere. And just that I think it's a drone footage of the city. Some people don't believe that the photograph is real, but it's just miles and miles and miles of just charred and burnt out neighborhoods. And it looks unfathomable, but it's real.
Well, other than the trees that still have the leaves on it, it looks like a combination of Hiroshima and Lahaina.
Yeah, very much so. You're absolutely right. Whew, thank you, Joe.
I'm sorry. That could be us in the future. You never know.
Exactly. It sure can. Indeed so. Thank you, sir. Let's go to John in Meriden. How you doing, John?
Hello. Reese, how are you?
I'm fine, and I owe you an apology, sir.
Okay, I'll take the apology.
Okay.
What's up?
I need you to write this down right now.
Okay, because I called
I know.
today,
I screwed up.
And
It's my fault.
My wife called. It doesn't work.
I know. Because I gave you the wrong number. Like a bozo.
Oh, okay.
I really hold myself responsible because it's not a mistake I've never made before. I've made it several times. So I'm going to make sure that you are that you have the right number. So tell me when you're ready.
I'm prepared to copy.
You got it. Okay. So if you want to leave a message, if you want to leave an airing of grievance on the phone so we can play it on Friday, that number is 202
735
1288.
1288.
And that has been my fault because I thought it was a 723 number. So get that number out of your Rolodex. That's the number, 735-1288.
Oh, Reese, you're gooder than good. Thank you.
You got it, John. Thank you so much. Have a great...
No, don't go away.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes.
I am praying, and I am so happy President Trump won. But I don't want him to keep any Democrats from the Biden administration in any authority in government. As he did, he left some Obama people in charge of certain things. This time he needs to wipe the slate clean and bring in all of his own people.
You're 100% right. And I think that that's the role of Donald Trump this time around. I think what we are about to witness is I can only be described as Donald Trump acclimating to Washington because he was a new guy, an out-of-towner coming in, fish out of water into Washington, thinking that he was going to go in and do the will of the people he was elected to do. He ran into a buzzsaw called the administrative state. And, of course, he had a bunch of people who were pretty much gunning for him, figuratively. And, of course, as we learned later, literally, trying to take him out in every way that they could. And they didn't understand who they were dealing with, as Donald Trump didn't either. He didn't know what he was getting into either. So now he does, and I think he's going to acclimate to Washington and understands Washington better than he ever has. And I think he's going to take heed to what you just said, John, and that is not leave any moles around to thwart his administration or the mission that he has for the United States.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
You have a wonderful day.
You as well, and God bless.
God bless you. Okay, I've only got a minute, and I don't want to cut it from Dave, so I will get back to you guys. We also have an emergency, what's it called? An emergency alert system alert coming in at about 56 or 4 minutes before the top of the hour. So I will try my best to get everybody into the call. So we'll take a break. Stick around. We've got no guests today, so we'll get as many phone calls in as we can. So make sure that you stand by and get your phone calls in today. It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. The election is over and a new pro-business administration is about to begin. At Swish Funding, we're ready to help America's small businesses thrive in 25. Whether it's for cash flow, expansion, or new equipment, Swish Funding has flexible funding options from $25,000 up to $2 million. You could get a decision in minutes and cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. With rates as low as... To qualify, be in business at least 1 year with monthly revenue of at least $50,000. Apply today at swishfunding.com. SWISH funding.com.
It's Reese on the radio. Ask your doctor if common sense is right for you. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
It usually isn't. It's Reese on the radio, and we still got your phone calls coming in. Let's go to Dave, who's in Ellington. How are we doing, Dave?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm all right. What's up, buddy?
First of all, go Irish.
All right, no doubt.
All right. So, Ned Lamont's speech the other day was senseless and useless.
Yeah,
Donald
no policy
Trump
at all.
Is never going to be accepted into the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not going to be accepted into it. There's going to be people that are going to go out after him day after day after day after day.
Yeah.
You think I'm kidding? You watch. I guarantee you, before he gets inaugurated, someone's going to say, impeach him.
Oh, without a doubt. In fact, there's already rumbling now, Dave. There's rumbling now that says, like,
come on, man.
Look,
the guy made a lot of money in his life. He got his staffing from his father. He invested it. He did something good with it. He's got buildings all over the world. And, that's right. You're not one of the in crowd.
Yep,
so
that's
guess
it.
what?
You nailed it. You literally, you took the words right out of my mouth, Dave. He is not of the Washington elite.
No, Reese, listen to me. Remember you were in school?
Yeah.
And there was the cool kids.
Yep.
There was the jocks.
Yep.
And there was the burnouts.
Yeah.
Okay? And now, this is exactly what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's not Washington elite, right? You know, it's like you look at those people.
Donald Trump, they just automatically say, nope, everything he says is done. Nope, we don't want to do it.
Dave, do you remember before the election, I laid out these two things in the opening monologue? And I talked about the difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And there were a lot of people who were trying to suggest that Kamala Harris was for the working class, or she was for the middle class, or the people who work every day. Yeah. And Donald Trump, right. And Donald Trump, on the other hand, was this rich, wealthy elitist. And the breakdown that I made, and I think a lot of people understood this, was everything about Kamala Harris's life was to serve her own. In no way did she didn't employ anybody. She didn't build anything. She didn't make life greater for anybody else but herself.
Here's the thing nobody realizes. Here's the thing nobody understands.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris was nothing more than a patsy.
Oh, yeah. I know, but the broader part about it is that Donald Trump.
Everybody thinks the guy that shot Kennedy was a patsy. Oh, no.
Donald
She
Trump.
was a patsy.
Look at Donald Trump. I remember watching that video of Donald Trump doing all of the jobs inside his hotel. Like he went and did the cleaning service inside the hotel room. And then he worked as one of the waiters, bringing up room service to the hotel rooms. He did all of the jobs that he employs. And it's a great video. And all of his employees love him and loved working with him. And he had such a great time. But that's a guy who creates and builds stuff. And the people in Washington, the Washington elite, as it were, it's never been their job to create wealth. It's their job to take it. That's why they don't know the difference. They don't know what he's like. So
why can't any other newscaster besides you say this? Donald Trump
he's a threat to that. He's a threat to that because
he created money. He created jobs.
It's the antithesis of what they believe in. Remember, palace intrigue is what it is because of the media. And they know today it's more after the election of Barack Obama, it was when Washington became cool. It became hip. And it was their guy who won. And now anyone who thwarts or turns over that apple cart that was Barack Obama has got to be pushed back by the establishment and the media. That's where we are today.
Can you Reese, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Tell me how a fire hydrant runs out of water.
I don't know, man. Listen to me. When I heard that story, I watched a video of a news anchor say on the air that there's no truth to the rumors that fire hydrants are running out of water. He then cuts to the reporter out on the field, and the woman says, actually, reports are true. Firefighters are reporting to me that fire hydrants do not have water. She had to fact check them on the air live.
I saw a report on Fox. The guy's standing in the middle of the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
He's got like 3 or 4 houses burning around him. He's like, there isn't a fire truck in sight.
Yeah.
And then you find out that they cut $17.5 million off the fireman fund?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where we are. Dave, I got to go to a break, but thank you so much, man, for the exchange, man. You got it, sir. we're going to have to take a break real quick because we got to go to John Silva and an emergency alert systems alert. I know that's redundant, but that's what they're called. And so I apologize for that. And we'll do that in about 10 seconds. And we're breaking down to that 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We'll be back after this.
All right, you good?
Okay. All right. We're back. That emergency alert has happened. And that doesn't mean that we're coming back on the air because we're going to have to take a break. We will, in about a minute, we'll have our first check of the traffic out there. Don't forget, today is Therapy Thursday on the 5 o'clock focus. So stay tuned for that. It's my problem. You deal with it on the 5 o'clock focus. So that's coming up, of course, at 5:05. We'll break that down. So if you didn't get a chance to, you can call in at the 5 o'clock hour so you can answer that question that I have posed for you. We don't tease it anymore because people start answering it beforehand. So we'll save it for the 5 o'clock focus. What else exactly do I have? Oh, I've got some audio to play for you in the next hour as well. And of course, we've got the stupidest thing that I've read today about ABC News' David Muir. That's actually a crazy story. We'll get to that real soon as well. So stick around. Now it's our first check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. How we doing, Mark?
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, look out for an accident down by 35A and B. It's said to be in that HOV swale there in the left side of the highway, so a little slow there. Then you're tight again approaching 33 Jennings Road. Northbound 91, moving while Cromwell through downtown up into Winter. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Boca Bridge, and East Hartford out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound tied up 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound a little slow from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge as you move into South Windsor. 2 eastbounds moving while Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound a little tight from 32 up to exit 34 in New Britain. 9 southbound a little slow as you approach exit 23 down to 22 in Berlin. If you're heading northbound on the Parkway, look out for an accident up by 68 N and E. We got delays back to Miller Avenue behind that. Heading in toward Waterbury westbound, 84 slowing by 25. And 91 in the Parkway, a good ride heading in toward New Haven. South 95 New Haven slows 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Thursday afternoon, windy with a mix of clouds and sun. Quite cold feeling with the high of 30 in that wind. Partly cloudy, windy still tonight, the low down to 22. Then on Friday, partly sunny, breezy, not as cold, but still going to feel quite cold with a breeze and a high of 38. Friday night, cloudy, the low down to 25. Saturday, we'll get a coating to an inch of snow showers early in the morning. Otherwise, cloudy with a high of 34. Then Sunday, becoming mostly sunny, the high 39. Sunny Monday with a high of 41. Tuesday, turning out cloudy, the high of 37. Wednesday, mostly sunny, breezy, becoming colder, the high of 31 with those gusty northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, making it feel like it's well done in the 20s at best throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. In L.A., evacuation orders have been lifted for some of the areas impacted by the wildfires. Fire officials, though, say the Hearst fire has grown to 900 acres and is not contained. Fire Captain Eric Scott is telling homeowners they should stay away until the flames are out.
It's still not safe to come into this area. We still have mandatory evacuations. They have open gas lines. There's a lot of hazards that are in the debris.
On CBS Mornings, FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell said the agency is trying to get help to those who need
We're
it.
moving resources like commodities and supplies. We have them in California. We have a staging base closer that we can move them in closer. And I'm in really close contact with the president of the American Red Cross as well as the Northcom commander to make sure that we are all unified as a federal government and the nonprofit agencies to support all of these people that have lost so much.
AmeriCares is launching an effort for victims of the wildfires. The Stamford-based relief organization says the plan is to deliver medicine, medical supplies, and first aid items, among other essentials. AmeriCare's Director of U.S. Emergency Response, Mariel Fontaine, says they're partnering with 70 health facilities in the fire's path. Anyone looking to donate can go to their website, americares.org, for more information. In Old Saybrook this evening, the results of a report into the town's police department are expected to be released. The town commissioned that report last year to find out why so many staffers have left over the last decade plus. The findings submitted by the Police Executive Research Forum indicated a toxic culture from within has led to over 50 retirements, terminations, and resignations during the tenure of Chief Michael Spera. The meeting gets underway in about an hour. Connecticut has a tough time keeping physicians in state, according to the Senate chair of the Public Health Committee, Dr. Saud Anwar. That's why he is especially concerned about an email making the rounds within Trinity Health. The company issued the email this week to more than 100 ER and other doctors at St. Francis Hospital, St. Mary's in Waterbury, and Johnson Memorial Hospital in Stafford.
That they had a 90-day notice that they have to join another company. They can no longer work with Trinity. And this came as a shock to everyone. This was just like an email that appeared, and the leadership in the healthcare system, the hospital physicians, did not know about it.
Anwar does not work for Trinity Health, but says doctors he's spoken to there are in shock as they consider possible job loss against a possible move out of state. Anwar is calling on the company to reverse the announcement. WTIC has requested comment from Trinity Health of New England. New first selectman in the town of Portland following a recent tragedy in town. Here's WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
The town of Portland appoints a new first selectman while honoring the life lost in a tragedy recently in the community. John Manning, the man who was originally going to take over that job, was struck and killed in a crash on December 18th. He was a well-known fireman in Portland. The town's now tapping Michael Pelton to take over the role. Known in the community as a local business owner and long-running selectman in town, Pelton says that he's looking forward to addressing key issues that affect business, education, and quality of life in Portland. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080
Nation
News.
paid tribute to former President Carter, the nation's 39th president, at a state funeral today. President Biden delivered one of the eulogies.
The story of a man who was at once driven and devoted to making real the words of his Savior and the ideals of this nation. The story of a man who never let the tides of politics divert him from his mission to serve and shape the world. The man had character.
Markets were closed today for this National Day of Mourning honoring President Carter. And for these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, the new year is here. And if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity. Your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on
All right, in 10.
your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices: Salem, New Hampshire, Dedham, Marlborough, Woburn, Farmington, Connecticut.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
There we go. We are back. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Your phone calls are on the way. We will get to those at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842.
I'll be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
Stupidest thing I read today, David Muir of ABC News has got an embarrassing video out about him. Of course, he is in California, in the Los Angeles County, reporting on the wildfires that are destroying people's homes out there. But what would make this guy do this? I don't know. The video of him has him there in one of the ABC News fireman jackets. And you can find this video by going to reeseontheradio.com, REESE on the radio.com. He took, and it's embarrassing, but he took clothespins and pulled the jacket back like a facelift and put clothespins on the jacket to make the jacket look taut on his body so he could show the pecs on the jacket. It's just an embarrassing thing. Why? Why would you do that? It's like, pull the jacket, just wear the jacket. And people are clowning him on the air. And again, look, I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. I believe in the Trump curse. I just do. He looks like a bozo. Goodness gracious. And some of us put on some weight, you know? Maybe just wear the regular jacket. Let's get a check of the traffic with Mark Christopher, Kennedy, BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. And if you're heading in toward the Hartford area right now, looking at the ride on southbound side of I-91, got some slow traffic now as you move 34 down to 32A and B. On the northbound side of 91, that's a good ride. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound some slow traffic approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound's a little tight as you move from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound's looking good. Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. Waterbury 84 westbound a little tight from 25A up to 25 again at the Mixmaster. You're heading northbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Look out for an accident up by exit 68 and any delays are approaching Miller Avenue behind that. And 95 South New Haven slowing from 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we make our way through tonight, it'll be partly cloudy, windy, and cold. The low down to 23. Then Friday, partly sunny, breezy. Not as cold as it's been, a high of 38. Then for Friday night, cloudy, the low down to 25. Saturday, we'll get a coating to an inch of snow showers early in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be variably cloudy. Some of the untreated surfaces could be slick, and there'll be some higher totals on non-paved surfaces. The high of 34 on Saturday. Right now, it's 29 in Waterbury, 34 in Danbury, 29 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here. I, for one, like a sure bet. Putting my money up, knowing I'll win. That's why I bet on Awaken 180. It was a sure thing, and the results proved it to all of us. Start your new year out knowing you'll reach your goal. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Worried about the Trump tariffs? At Columbia Implant Center, our prices won't go up. We produce all dentures, crowns, and implants in-house in our own digital lab. Columbia Implant Center. 1 day, same day, 7 days a week. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. And finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs. Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider. 1 minute.
Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
Your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices. Go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
President of the Chris Murphy Fan Club, Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Phone calls coming up at 860-522-WTIC. I want to play this because we're talking about the California wildfires. And, you know, it's a topic of discussion everywhere because, of course, this is the biggest wildfire in that state's history. And the amount of damage, the people who are being affected there it's pretty awesome, not in a good way. It's considerable. And it's, what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name now? I just had his name here. Scott Jennings? Yes, Scott Jennings. He actually was talking about what was going on in California with regards to the fire chief in that state. In the city, I should say. And he was talking about how no one could possibly be happy about what they had done on the DEI front and how ridiculous that was. I mean, I thought I had the video and the audio here, but I'll grab that for later because that's not even the point. He's just saying, look, man, if your house is being burned down and you're in California, if you're in Los Angeles County, if you're in Malibu, if you're in Palisades, you don't give a damn what color the firefighter is if you're losing everything you got. And it's true. And I remember I got into this fight back in the days, 2005. I got plenty of phone calls from black women in particular because New York City was applauding itself, patting itself on the back. They had, we finally got a black fire chief, a black female fire chief. And I went, so? And they were like, what? You have a problem with a black woman dragging you out of a burning building? I said, my problem is that this little 5-foot-something black woman won't be able to carry my fat behind out the building. As far as I'm concerned, give me a Klansman in a fire outfit. At least I know he is going to get me out, even though he hates my black behind. At least he'll do his job. No one gives a damn whether or not it's like, oh, I'm being saved by the first black fire chief. Wow, this is going to be epic. No one's ever said that. But Jasmine Crockett in Tubbs, the congresswoman out of Texas, oh, she had to make a big deal out of that. She was so upset that Scott Jennings had the audacity to bring it up. And so she went on to go in this tirade talking about why DEI is important. Sorry.
I'm so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House. And I can promise you, it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas, we are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
This Negro is a moron. Now, I wouldn't have so much issue with it. I'm sorry, sister girl, but you're an idiot. And the moment that you open your mouth and you said it, as soon as I heard it, I went, there's no way that she said that out in public and somebody didn't check her. She started off with the dumbest statement I've ever heard come out of a person's mouth. It's not a black woman's mouth, a person's mouth. When she said it, something came to mind. You heard her at the beginning of the statement.
I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women.
Who told you that?
I don't know who told her that. James, I have no idea who told her that. But that's where we are. So she thinks that black women are the most educated people or demographic in the entire country. And she said that's the reason why they should be head of a fire department that has now lost, 5 people's lives? Thousands of acres? You gotta be kidding me. Black women are the most educated demographic in the country.
Who told you that?
I gotta know. 860-522-WTIC. Rob is in Middletown. How are you, sir?
How are you, Reese? Spoken by a true racist, that one. She's unbelievable. I just want to start by saying what a privilege and a pleasure it is to be able to speak to the modern-day Frederick Douglass. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Those people are born every day. That's why we never have a shortage. Donald Trump's like the new kid who came to your school and you put your best guy on him. He beats the hell out of that guy and then steals his girlfriend. There's nothing he can do. He's better. What are you going to do?
I like that analogy. That's very good. That's a really good analogy.
He beat you all 535 he is. Big tech, big media, everyone.
And exactly. And you know what's the interesting part about that, Rob, is that he takes them on. He is not afraid to take them on. And he doesn't, it's like, it's all comers. It doesn't matter who it is. And what I found, and this is the interesting part about it, Rob, is that now people have taken this mantle that suggests I'm going to be the person who's going to take him out. It's like the big bad dragon. And like every person comes up to the king and they go, "King, allow me and my minions to take out the dragon." And they go, yeah, go ahead, see if you can slay the dragon. And they come back and they're all tattered and burned. And the next person comes up and says, "You clearly didn't know what you were doing. I will take on the dragon." And they keep coming up and trying to slay the dragon. And the dragon slays them every time.
He has globes in his underpants.
That is indeed true, sir. Indeed. And again, as I said the other day about he and Stephen Miller and this team, these guys, they take no prisoners, and they are punch you in the mouth kind of guys. That's the way in which they approach that, and they don't care about the media ripping them a new one on their platforms that no one watches. It doesn't matter anymore. So,
and I can't wait to see what Stephen Miller's got in store for Nedley.
Yeah, yes, that's a great story.
Annie, huh?
Yeah, that's a great story. I can't wait to watch that either. Thank you, sir.
We wait.
Ralph is in South Carolina. How we doing, Ralph?
Freezing, actually. Reese, it's a little chilly down here.
I bet.
The reason I called is I was a firefighter EMT for 11 years.
Okay.
And the way the water gets to the hydrants, it's either pumped up or it's gravity fed.
Okay.
There's just 2 ways that happens. So if there was no water coming out of the hydrant, there was no water in the system, or the pumps weren't working to pump that water to the hydrants, or the gravity-fed system was not capable of working, I guess. I don't know.
What
how
is
else
the
to say
source,
it.
by the way? What's the source of the water? Is it the reservoir?
It depends.
Okay.
Like I live in a small town, so we had to have what we called pumpers.
Okay.
So they would be full of water, like 5,000 gallons of water, and they would have like a plastic pool we would assemble. They'd fill that and pump the water out of that pool.
Wow.
Now, in the cities, they have the fire hydrants and the water systems, which are totally different.
Huh.
And so they have all pumps that pump the water and keep the pressure up. But one thing I wanted to mention to you, Reese, and
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know if you happen to see it, and this really bothered the heck out of me. Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Yes.
Now, Jimmy Carter was a very religious individual.
I believe he was, yes.
He taught Sunday school every Sunday. He believed in God, believed in Jesus. And the last song they sang, I don't know if you happen to see it, was a Beatles song.
Really?
Yes. And that's what
Not
they
How
had.
Great Thou Art, or a Beatles song.
no.
What Beatles song did they play?
Oh, God, I'm going to brain that right now. But the song talked about there being no heaven.
Oh my God,
No
they played.
hell.
That's a Lennon song. That's Imagine.
Right.
They played Imagine.
Imagine, yeah, exactly. And no religion, too.
Yes, that's
They played that song at Jimmy Carter's end of his funeral. And I'm wondering, what the heck
Craig
is
says,
that
Craig
all about?
asked, Craig's in the chat room, and Craig said, "What did they play? Helter Skelter?" No, Craig, it was not Helter Skelter.
No, but I mean,
that would
why
be
would you-
that would have been better than Imagine.
Right, but why would you play a song like that at this man's funeral when he was one of the most religious presidents that ever walked the earth?
And again, you know what? That's thumbing their nose at the fact that they were in a house of the Lord. That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what these people do. It's like when the gay community said they were going to go into Chick-fil-A and make out in front of the counter. This is the same thing. Leftists going into the house of the Lord and doing exactly that, thumbing their nose or picking their nose in front of in front of religion. That's all that is.
But who would approve a song like that in the Carter family? I mean, I just find it so hard to believe.
Probably
I really do.
his grandson is probably not as religious, if not as just probably not as religious as the Carters. Very modernized society we live in. And you're right. That's almost sacrilegious, not just to the church, but just to the legacy of Jimmy Carter.
That's a slap in the face to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you,
And,
sir.
you know,
I appreciate you, sir. Let me go to Al is in Bloomfield. How we doing, Al?
I'm doing well. I was calling in reference to that lady who called. She have no idea of what she's talking about.
What? Oh, you talking
She
about?
has no idea.
I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett in Tubbs, about the smartest demographic in the country.
Well, that's just ignorance. That's just divisive for this country. It's divisive for this country. It promotes racism.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that people still believe what she's talking about.
It's
just sad.
She's very angry and she's a dyed-in-the-wool progressive. And for her, it's like Heather McDonald, I think that's her name. But somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Heather McDonald, she's a statistician. She's a book writer, but she always talks about statistics and race and the police. She's foremost authority on police. But she has this great line. She says that if white privilege exists, I would beg any African-American student today to apply to college and on their application write white male or female and see how fast they get into the class, into the school versus writing black or black male or female. And
Well,
it's
she's ignorant.
She's
ignorant. She's ignorant because I graduated from some pretty good schools.
Okay.
I got my advanced degree from pretty good schools. It never had anything to do with the color of my skin. It had to do with the knowledge of my mind.
Al, let me ask you this real
That's
quick, because you bring up a very good point that I've been dying to talk about recently, and I got a little time here. So I was talking about the education system for the last 2 days. And a lot of the stories that I hear about the education today is like how it's so different, we need better opportunities for the kids in the schools today. I was reading I was reading about Booker T. Washington, and I was reading about how many lawyers and doctors were coming up in black colleges back in the day through Booker T. Washington and a host of others. My question to you is this. How is it that in the most segregated and racist times in our history, more and more African Americans joined the elite and the most professional jobs in the world, and today they lack the ability to do so? What am I missing here?
You're missing a lot, and those people are missing a lot because my brother he got a PhD from MIT. I went to Boston College, and I left Boston College, and I got my advanced degree from the University of Connecticut. And that's back in the 70s.
See what I'm saying?
Back in the 70s.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you want to do it, that's what I'm saying, because my parents told us we could do it. And that's what me and my brother did. He got a PhD from MIT. How many black dudes get a PhD from MIT in physics?
Exactly.
In physics. And that was back in the 70s. And me and him shared an apartment in Cambridge, Massachusetts when we went to college.
Which is, by the way, Massachusetts is considered one of the most racist northeastern cities in the world.
Oh, it was racist back then. And I have to admit that it was racist back then.
Sure.
But me and my brother didn't care because my parents brought us up to say, if you want to do it, and I admire my brother. I mean, how many black dudes back then got a PhD from MIT, and how many black dudes got master's degree from Boston College?
Yeah, and they never stopped. That's the other part, is that the school in a segregated and very racist time could have just said, we're not giving this guy nothing, and we'll go to court to keep him from getting it, and he still got it.
They could have said that, but our parents taught us that that's what they want us to do, and we went there, and we didn't know anybody in Massachusetts.
Damn. Al,
we had the knowledge.
Al,
we had the knowledge.
Thank you for calling up. I know it's the first time I'm ever talking to you, man, but please call back and complete dispelling these lies, man. I appreciate the call, man. We'll talk to you soon.
That's a lie. It depends on your family and what your family wants.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
And you got to have the courage to do it.
You got it, sir. Thank you. Let's take a break, and let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone.
See, the most important thing, that's the key. Your parents. The key is your parents. He had two parents that said, if you want to do it, go do it.
Just go do it. Nothing's again, you were talking
don't let nothing stop you. Don't just go do it.
Slow move from Cromwell down into Middletown.
I wish more kids even heard that, because I know they would say, it was like, really? You did that?
If you're traveling 9 southbound, look for delays 25 New Britain down to exit 23.
In the harshest of times.
Yeah,
Northbound Parkway in
the harshest of places. Cambridge?
Yeah, no thanks. I went there. I did a year out there, too, and I hated it.
Middletown looks okay now in the Aragoni Bridge.
That was in 2004.
Marlboro, 291, 384 looking good east of the river. If you're 84 westbound in Waterbury, some slow traffic, 25A up to 25. If you're traveling Route 8 northbound, some slow traffic now from 14 in Derby up to exit 17 in Seymour. And 95 southbound, look out for an accident between 46 and 44 New Haven. Right shoulder delays back to 48 behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Thursday afternoon, windy with a mix of clouds and sun. Quite cold feeling with the high of 30 in that wind. Partly cloudy, windy still tonight, the low down to 22. Then on Friday, partly sunny, breezy, not as cold, but still going to feel quite cold with a breeze and a high of 38. Friday night, cloudy, the low down to 25. Saturday, we'll get a coating to an inch of snow showers early in the morning. Otherwise, cloudy with a high of 34. Then Sunday, becoming mostly sunny, the high 39. Sunny Monday with a high of 41. Tuesday, turning out cloudy, the high of 37. Wednesday, mostly sunny, breezy, becoming colder, the high of 31, with those gusty northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, making it feel like it's well done in the 20s at best throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30 Hartford, temperature 29 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Groton Town Police are charging a teenager with manslaughter in connection with a fatal crash from last fall. According to police, it was just after 1 a.m., October 14th. They arrived in the area of Fishtown Road. 4 occupants were in the vehicle, sustained serious injuries. A 14-year-old was killed. The driver, a 17-year-old male, was arrested today. In addition to manslaughter, the suspect is charged with OUI, misconduct with a motor vehicle, and reckless driving, among other offenses. Family, friends, former presidents, and dignitaries turned out for a funeral today for former President Jimmy Carter. He died December 29th at the age of 100. Carter's grandsons and President Biden among those delivering eulogies and remarks today. At least 4 are dead in the wildfires that have ravaged L.A. Firefighters report some progress in the fight against the fires that have scorched tens of thousands of acres and destroyed over 1,300 structures. 5 have been reported killed. 3 people arrested in connection with an assault on another man Wednesday in Willington. Troopers say the assault stemmed from a large fight that broke out outside a bar on Ademic Road. The 66-year-old victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. His alleged attackers facing assault and other charges. Another blast of winter storms closed schools down south today. Put millions of residents on alert across parts of the U.S. as that heavy snow and freezing rain caused dangerous conditions, primarily in North Texas and Oklahoma. Gaza's health ministry says the death toll from the Israel-Hamas war has climbed above 46,000. The ministry updated its toll from the ongoing 15-month conflict, saying that 46,006 Palestinians have been killed and over 109,000 wounded. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare. Founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back, and it's time for phone calls because there are plenty in here waiting to get on. Fred is in Middletown. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. So real quick, DEI is just dog whistle for whites need not apply.
Yes.
That Heather McDonald, is that the chick?
Yes.
That's a chick, right?
Yeah.
And she says if you want to test white privilege, just put down white male when you apply to a college.
Yeah, when if a black kid believes that white privilege exists in a college application, put down that you're a white male.
Yeah.
And see how fast you'll get into class. Adam Carolla, somebody mentioned yesterday that Adam Carolla applied to be a firefighter in California when he was 19 years old, and they told him he had to wait 7 years to apply. And he said, why? He said, because you're not black, or you're not black, Hispanic, or female.
Well, no. They just said there's a list. And
Yeah,
so
there's
finally,
a list, right.
7 years came up. Tom Shattuck was rocking this material.
Yeah.
He went back to that fellow several times on today's show. And then there was a black woman there, and he asked her, when did you submit your application?
And she said Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. So it's like nonsense.
Yes. A quick point about that, though. Now, right now, DEI is a fall guy. So, yeah, we see these preposterous people, and there's no water and all that. But so, first of all, there's the governor and his policies. But then there's the people, and I'm, just straight up, no question about it, that there's weather manipulation going on there. I have a guy who can explain this in jot and tittle and bore you to death with it. That they're keeping California in a heat dome, and, they're like drying it out and burning it. And then, just to ice the cake, they put that preposterous person as, the fire person, whatever. And
yeah.
And then, okay, so then we get rid of those people. But remember, that really profound invisible evil is still there,
Oh, yeah. I mean, how about ineptitude? The fact that, again, the people who are not qualified for the job, she may be somebody who has worked in the fire department before, but she clearly isn't qualified because, again, the question should be, what are we doing to improve fire response in the state, or in the city for that matter, in Los Angeles? But the only thing people want to talk about is how she's going to root out white supremacy inside the fire department, which, again, no one has ever said, boy, I can't wait until they root that out at the fire department. No one's ever cared about that. The biggest problem that anyone's ever had with a fire department or police department or the ambulance is response time. How are you going to improve that?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Jasmine Crockett and Tubbs. That's great. Oh, in closing with this, I mean, I'm such a cad, but I want to call for, let me put it out to the ether, to the universe, for you and Vinnie Penn to collaborate with challenging, because he's all over Chris Murphy and the guy you had on, Justin Elliker and Bob Duff and these guys, and you're getting on them, and it's like, that the massacre there, the Arlo Guthrie, with if one person walks in and sings the Alice's Restaurant Massacre, they'll think you're crazy. And if two people do it, they'll think you're gay and they won't take either of you. But if three people do it. So I'm just thinking all these little, small market voices calling these people out. I'm thinking it almost has to make something happen, like the guy blowing his trumpet and the walls falling down to the city there,
Indeed. Thank you, Fred. Much appreciated. You got it. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. How are we doing out there, Mark?
Reese, we're doing okay. Southbound 91 slowing 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling on northbound 91, you'll see some slow traffic in Meriden between 15 and 16. After that, good ride Cromwell up into Hartford into Windsor. Westbound 84 slows approaching the Bulky Bridge of 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound is tight, 46 Sisson Avenue down into the tunnel. 291 384 okay. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound again a little tight as you approach 31 in Berlin. If you're 9 southbound, some slow traffic. 25 in New Britain down exit 23 in Berlin. 84 westbound in Waterbury slowing 26 to 25. If you are traveling on the southbound side of 95, look out for an accident between 46 and 44 in New Haven. Right shoulder delays are back to 48 behind that. And if you're southbound on the Parkway, just a little slow as you move down on exit 60 in Hamden. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through tonight, it'll be partly cloudy, windy, and cold. The low down to 22 for us. Then as we make our way into Friday, still breezy, not as cold, but it's going to feel quite cold. Partly sunny, the high 38. Cloudy skies for Friday night, the low down to 25. On Saturday, we get some snow showers early in the morning. Could put down a coating to an inch real quick. Untreated surfaces will be slick, and higher totals to be on the non-paved surfaces. The high of 34 for us on Saturday. Right now, it's 28 in New London, 27 in Mansfield, also 27 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
When winter weather hits, you can depend on WTIC News Talk 1080 to get you through every storm. With weather, Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center working around the clock to give you the latest, most accurate winter weather forecasts. With traffic, Mark Christopher and the WTIC traffic team will get you around the tie-ups. With news, the WTIC news team will have all the important news updates related to every storm. So when winter weather hits, WTIC News Talk 1080 is your most trusted source for the winter information you need.
In 1954, WTIC set out to find a way to give listeners more meaningful and understandable weather forecasts. The Travelers and news director Tom Eaton helped develop a weather research center and hired Thomas Malone, a professor of meteorology at MIT, to lead the project. Dr. Malone developed probability forecasting in an effort to help listeners prepare for the unpredictable Connecticut Valley weather. Information was given in terms listeners could understand. There's a 7 in 10 chance of rain today. Probability forecasting started in Hartford right here on WTIC and was later adopted by the National Weather Service. In 1955, WTIC started airing 5-minute weather forecasts 5 times a day. Today, accurate local weather reports are still a vital part of what WTIC provides listeners every day.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply.
Hold on a minute.
So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusion. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
The self-proclaimed love child of Rush Limbaugh.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080.
It's
WTIC.
True. It's true. It definitely is true. I am the love child of Rush Limbaugh. I don't know who my mom is, though. Anyway, it's Reese on the radio. Someone just sent this to me. Los Angeles Fire Department Assistant Chief Christine Larson. She said this, and this, I guess this is a part of the TV show Rescue 911. I hope this plays well. Tell me if you can hear this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
You should be able to answer that question. You couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Well, he shouldn't have gotten himself in the wrong place. Well, that's exactly the kind of support I want for my fire department, is them looking at me going, huh? How did the fire start? Huh? Were you messing around with the toaster? That's what I want. I want a fire chief that's not just a black lesbian, but also a black lesbian who chastises me about the fire that I'm stuck in. That's what I want. I want a lecture when I get there. When you get there, I want to be prepared for a lecture. You know, my house is burning down, and I'm on the ground, probably with a cinder block on me, and this one walks up and goes, hey, how'd you get here? People are bozos. They are bozos. This is the reason why you're going to lose again. This is the reason why you're going to lose again. You can't get out of your own way. Kim's in Cromwell. How we doing, Kim?
Oh, boy, is it frustrating to watch that stuff. They should have recalled Newsom when they had the chance. So
yes, that's right.
He's such a fanatic. We have a lot of natural things going on in the climate. Too cold a stratosphere, but the ozone is coming back. We do have a weakening of the magnetic field, which might be possibly shifting things inside the Earth. There's been a slant of groundwater going certain ways. we have a very finicky polar vortex.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the maps, you could see how wavy the jet stream is. And as reported in by George, basically what we're having this winter is the jet stream is dipping down in the center of the country to low latitudes. And that's why they're getting plundered with snow and cold. And then it rises up into a crest, and we have been somewhat sheltered from that.
Forgive me for my naivete. Kim, forgive me for my naivete here.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I've always had this argument about climate change and the likes, global warming and the ice age and all the coming ice age and all that other stuff from the 1970s. But when I say forgive my naivete, because I'm probably going to ask a question that is a little naive, but maybe it's not. Let me ask you this. Are these natural occurrences because the Earth is a living thing?
The Earth's atmosphere, its astronomy, its oceans, and its solid Earth are dynamic systems.
Okay.
They are always in motion at different rates.
And always changing.
As the Earth has a static disk that every day is supposed to be 60 degrees in a blue sky. That is just absolute bunk. And that's what they're trying to persuade people, that if you ban carbon dioxide, you will get none of this havoc and you will have complete justice and utopia. California ebbs back and forth in its zones because of El Nino and La Nina. And right now they have very harsh Santa Ana winds that just transport all that heated stuff down the hills. They don't do good silviculture there. They have very poor electric maintenance, and they don't have good water repositories. But you have all the power of Hollywood behind people like Newsom. And they continue to go down that road to destruction, and the folks will just absolutely not wake up.
So the bottom line is
every day.
So the bottom line is, Kim, is that we have a governance that is being swayed by climate alarmists instead of actual climate scientists.
Right. It's alarmist. It's designed as a cult. It's designed that way because what the goal of these people are as a religion is it's all about redistribution of income.
Indeed.
They want to secure a place on the market for renewable technologies. So what they do is create the hysteria because what they're trying to do is get political clout to give them the money, the permits, the patents to put it on. They cannot stand on their own up against the other traditional sources. So they seek politics.
Yeah.
And the tactic is just to use the hysteria. Is you're all welcome to come on the free market. Doesn't bother me in the least.
Right.
Okay. But they always have to make it into an us versus them thing. You don't care about the earth kind of thing.
Yeah. Indoctrinating the children kind of thing.
That the earth is going to blow up tomorrow unless you do A, B, and C. It's a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for that explanation too. I thought it was as simple as that, and I didn't want to make it more confusing than it was. But thank you. I appreciate that sort of breakdown for me, so I can understand it better. I appreciate you. Hank is in Portland. How we doing, Hank?
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Good
What's
to
up?
hear you on the radio still.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk about the manipulated metric from what's the lady's name that you played earlier?
Oh, that is Jasmine Crockett and Tubbs. Hold on, let me play it. Let me play it for you again. This is her talking about the smartest demographic in the country.
I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is Black women.
Who told you that?
So where does she get that flawed metric from, Hank?
Okay, so I wanted to address that, and then I wanted to make another point.
Go ahead.
It's a manipulated metric because technically, Black women are the highest percentage of all demographics getting a secondary degree.
That is true. That's right. And I thought it was that.
This is the caveat, though.
Okay.
there are rivers between educated and smart, and there are oceans between educated and competent.
That's correct.
One of the most insidious things that is going on in our country that's breaking down the ingenuity and everything that makes America great is something that you see in the hiring process, which is degree in exchange for experience.
Right.
There's a lot of educated people being put in places because of their degree with a worthless degree that's not even related to the field. But there are very little people who have, the successful people have sweat equity, have competence, experience, and are smart.
Right.
That's not the same as being educated.
Indeed.
And I wanted to also say, answer the comment that you said about Booker T. Washington.
Yes.
The reason why the reason why things were the way they were with him is, just to go back to my previous point, is that he pushed going to higher education for skilled-based labor.
Yes.
Skilled-based degrees.
That's right.
A lot of people have degrees for nothing. Liberal arts degrees, you can't do anything. They're not skilled-based. That's why I feel like there's kind of a subtle referendum on the education system, and they want to start, even though I don't agree with it, reimbursing people for getting these degrees because they can't do anything with them.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like, doing 4th century Greek mythology as a major is not going to get you a reasonable or high-paying job in places where we need skilled work.
And if you look at what's going on with the tech companies subtly, is that they're saying that you can come in with a high school diploma because they want to take the kids right from high school, train them in the systems that are required to excel in the company and run the company, instead of having people who are buried in debt with a degree they can't do anything with, that feel like they're too good to do the job they applied for.
Yeah, one of the craziest things about that is that I hear that argument all the time. I'm sure you have, Hank. Is when they keep talking about the lack of certain individuals in the STEM programs in and out of high school, and they always talk about Black and Latino females in particular that are not in the STEM programs. What they fail to mention is that is the least chosen profession for that group.
Right.
So it's not a short.
If you look by and large, technically, by the metric that I think we're going by and a lot of the listeners are going by, the Asian Pacific community is the one that is, I guess, for lack of a better term, smartest, because they're pursuing those fields, largely the medical field and the STEM field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. When I played that clip, you don't know what my chat room was filled with. There's a lot of Asian men who are going to have a problem with that statement.
Yeah, but they use that term, and you can't. And I heard you flipping back and forth. Like, he's saying the most educated.
Right.
That's way different than the most competent, the most qualified, or even the smartest person. There's a lot of smart people I know who don't even have a degree.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of educated people I know who can't do simple things.
Yeah. And a key point about that thing about Jasmine, and the point you make, is if you do statistically look at the number of people, or the largest number of people who are getting in higher education or secondary education, it is Black women, because that is promoted the most throughout the country. So if you increase the numbers of people going into those schools, of course you're going to say they're the most educated. There's no real metric there.
Yeah, and they're the highest ones that are going to be in debt with worthless degrees.
Indeed. Hank, thank you so much, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, keep up the good work.
Thank you, my friend. Zach is in Lynchfield. He promised he was going to call me up so I can understand this thing going on in California with the insurance company. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, Reese. I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got for me? So explain to us, because a lot of people are talking about the conspiracy theory that State Farm in particular and some other insurance companies started dropping all of these homeowners insurance due to fire because they knew that the fires were coming. We all know that's crazy, but it really had something to do with Gavin Newsom and his policies. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, it really had to do with the state of California Department of Insurance, because they put a cap on the amount that the carriers could raise rates.
Okay.
So you ended up with people, especially State Farm. They were the largest insurer in California.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up with people having $2 million, $1.5 million houses for $2,500 a year.
Wow.
And it became untenable. And the state wasn't letting them selectively cancel people. The state wasn't letting them raise rates to actually meet what the market would demand for that type of coverage.
Because if you had a fire there, State Farm would essentially go bankrupt.
Yes, and that's the issue that we've sort of been seeing, because from like 2016 up until now, State Farm was the majority insurer for California.
Mm-hmm.
And there is really no replacement. There is the State of California Insurance Fund, but they're capped out at, I think, $5 billion because it's managed by the state.
Right. So that whole thing, not being able to raise rates, of course, so they can, I mean, it's a revenue business, right? So we've got to come in revenue. So in the event, especially when we have a high risk of fires in that state, we have to raise rates so we have the capital. So in the event that any of these insurance claims do get met, then we have to pay them out. If we keep just doling out,
exactly it.
Yeah, if we keep on having to dole out millions and billions of dollars in insurance, compensation, it could pretty much bankrupt the company. We're out of business. Everybody else is covered. And then in most cases, State Farm would have to take out a loan to meet the insurance requirements of that home that got burnt out. And again, the other part about this, which I also find interesting, is that Gavin Newsom knows that, he's well aware of how often these fires take place and the damage that they've seen. In fact, the payouts that State Farm has had to pay out over the last, I want to say in the last report I saw was in the last 7 years or 10.
It should be 7 years.
Okay.
And depending on which report you saw, it's in the billions.
Okay, yeah, it's in the billions. So they're, in essence, and I think State Farm is doing it, they're trying to head off the fact that they're going to lose, especially in a time like this, and especially in the fire season. God, I can't believe I'm calling it that. But they're going to lose billions. They're trying to salvage the company.
Well, that's exactly it. They see where the trend is going, and it's untenable when you're taking in $2,000 on a $2 million house.
Yeah. What do you know what they were going to raise the rates to? Like, let's say I have a $2 million home. I'm spending $2,500 a month. What would they have raised?
I'll give you a real example.
Okay.
I'll give you a real example of one I worked recently. They were $2,200 about with State Farm for the year. The only quote I was able to get them was $15,000.
Wow.
Which that's fair market value for the insurance. They're in a very high fire area. Thankfully, they're not affected by these fires, but they're a little south of LA.
That's nothing. It's not
the best comparison. The best comparison to draw this to the state's fault is look at Florida. Because Florida, there is no cap on what homeowners insurance can charge. There's no cap on premiums because it's a free market.
Right.
So you'll see people complaining, "Oh, my homeowners insurance is $20,000 a year in Florida." Yeah, well, at least you have it.
Right. And at least you will probably compensate. You'll be compensated for any damage should it come to your home. Wow.
Yeah. Even if it's limited coverage, like actual cash value instead of replacement costs, you'll at least get something.
Yeah.
And the biggest part about this California situation that nobody's talking about is going to be the difficulty these people are going to face in rebuilding.
Yeah, there you go. Indeed.
Specifically, all the ones in Santa Monica, the California Coastal Commission is not going to let them rebuild. All those structures were grandfathered in.
Wow. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that explanation, buddy. Let's take another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, thank you very much, Reese, and good afternoon, everyone. Southbound 91 coming into Hartford, delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are northbound 91, that's moving very well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Boakey Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. No problems, 291, 384 east of the river, 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. Now, if you are traveling into Middletown, that looks good as you move up on the just a little tight now as you move up on the Aragoni Bridge. Heading over to Waterbury, westbound 84 is tied up 26 up to 25 on the westbound side of 84. You're seeing some slow traffic now. 9 northbound by 31 in Berlin, again 32 up to 34 in New Britain. If you're heading down in toward New Haven, southbound 95, you got delays 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Southbound on the Parkway, delays 61 into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays from exit 3 down in toward the 95 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy, still windy tonight, the low down to 22. On Friday, partly sunny, breezy, not as cold as it's been, but it's going to feel quite cold with that breeze and a high of 38. Cloudy skies Friday night, the low down to 25. Then Saturday, a coating to an inch of snow in the morning, otherwise variably cloudy, a high of 34. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
5 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Crews with cadaver dogs are searching the rubble left behind by the wildfires in L.A. 5 are dead, and the biggest fires are still 0% contained. This man returned to the spot where his home used to be in Altadena.
We had so many incredible memories with the pool, and I got here and I looked down at the pool full of water, and the irony of it was inescapable. Like, there's all this water, and then it was useless.
There were more. These are the most destructive fires in LA's history, according to the fire chief, Kristen Crowley.
Preliminary reports estimate the damage or destroyed structures to be in the thousands.
The red flag warnings still in effect for LA and Ventura counties until at least Friday. Short time ago, President Biden received a briefing on the situation and said those who lost everything in the fires will be covered.
I was talking with the governor. He requested if I could increase the federal funding that was authorized under this legislation from 75% to 90%. We're increasing it to 100% of all the costs to be covered by the federal government for both the fire management assistance grants and the elements of what they call the disaster declaration.
Among those answering the call is Marjorie Pedro, a seasoned veteran, a seasoned volunteer with the American Red Cross.
Well, sometimes it gets emotional because, it's not a good feeling losing your home, especially after you work so hard to get all of what you have at your home and you lost everything.
Groton Town Police now charging a teen with manslaughter. This in connection with a fatal crash from last October. It was October 14th. A little after 1, they got the call to Fishtown Road. 4 occupants in the vehicle. A 14-year-old killed. The driver was 17. He was arrested today. Faces manslaughter charges in addition to OUI, misconduct with a motor vehicle, and reckless driving. The Senate chair of the state's Public Health Committee says their doctors at 3 Trinity Health New England hospitals are scrambling after receiving a letter from management threatening their employment. WTIC's Dave Mager has that.
The doctors work in the ER and other departments at St. Francis Hospital, St. Mary's in Waterbury, and Johnson Memorial in Stafford.
Many of them said that they were in a state of shock.
State Senator Saud Anwar says they got a letter from Trinity Health with an ultimatum: shift their employment to a California-based company within 90 days, possibly leading to a move out of state, or lose their jobs.
It's suddenly just putting them in a corner to either say yes to them or leave the state.
He says the email came as a surprise to everyone on staff and that the potential loss of jobs would damage individual careers and patient safety. WTIC has made a request to Trinity Health for comment. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
A child was injured when they were struck by a vehicle today in New Britain. Happened in the area of West Main Street around 7. The child taken to Connecticut Children's in Hartford for treatment. No word on their condition. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
While the new administration
1 minute.
Panama Canal back, you can always get a root canal at Columbia Implant Center. 1 day, same day, 7 days a week. Call 860-743-1898 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080.
Tune in to How to Retire.
with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oops.
Focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Thought I had them all out.
Talk about a force of habit. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. 5 o'clock focus is coming up, but just stand by. So here's the deal. So how do I do this? It sounds crazy, but there's a reason why I call it Therapy Thursday. It just is.
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Quite stylish. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged.
So Therapy Thursdays, 5 o'clock focus is about, and again, I heard someone ask me not too long ago, I was like, dude, I cannot believe that you would actually talk about the relationship with your wife. And I'm like, look, I'm usually an open book, and I believe that relationships are a key part of who we are. And my marriage to Roseanne is a huge part of the guy that I am today. She has made a different man of me. I used, before I was with my wife, I was a completely different guy. I mean, I really do. I mean, talking night and day. There's this time I used to say, the guy I am today would have been beaten up by the guy I was. He would have thought this guy was a nerd or a geek or, soft shoe. But I'm not. I love my wife, and I love my life, and I love the way that things are, and I look at things differently. I think before I speak. But my wife really makes me nervous, and I need your help. I don't know why she does, but my wife has a way. I've never realized this, but I said this to my wife the other day. Roland, I don't know if you will identify with this, but I said to I said to my wife, I would rather see 10 nuns in a car accident than see my wife with a headache. I can't deal with my wife when she is irritable. Not like I can't deal with it like, oh, get away from me. No, it's like it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like all thumbs. Like I'm nervous when she is not in a good place. If I think my wife is angry about something or uncomfortable about something, I immediately feel like I have to come to the rescue.
You're going to have to use a different analogy for that.
What do you mean?
10 nuns, you can't.
Well, I said,
you can't. I can't let you. I can't. I gotta stop you
I'm
right
just
there.
saying. I'm saying.
I can't let you put the 10 nuns in there. I can't do it.
Okay. I'm saying that I would rather see, I would rather see a tragic accident than see my wife in a bad mood.
Oh my God.
I would. When she's not in a right place, I'm uncomfortable. And I can't, I'm all thumbs. I'm nervous. I start to sweat. I perspire. I'm like, okay, what do I do to remedy this? She's not in a good place. Is it my fault? How could I don't know. I was never like this. Back in the day, I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, so what? But now, if she's in a bad place, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, listen, I know, Mark, we all say that our wives run our house and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you ever, when you know your wife is in a bad mood, do you immediately start checking yourself to see if you did anything wrong? Is my shirt untucked? Did I not unload the dishwasher?
No, I don't even go that far. I just walk into my office. I hide under the desk until she's in a better mood. I don't come out from underneath the desk unless I'm called.
So that's my point, right? So it's not uncommon for you to be when your wife is in a mood. It's like it's the old saying: if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Exactly. And she's 5'1" and she's half Sicilian. So.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
I have to be very careful. Very careful around her. Trust me.
So it's not me. I think so. No. This is a normal thing for guys.
This is normal, absolutely.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear from people. So call up 860-522-WTIC. Mark, take it away.
She is a saint. She's been with me for married 19 and together 24. I
No
believe.
doubt.
So,
All right.
she's St. Patty, no question about that. She doesn't have a husband. She has another child. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkgate Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue, 84 eastbound delays, approaching 46 down up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91, you've got slow traffic, 33 down to 32 A and B. South of downtown, that's moving well right down into Cromwell. No problems. Northbound 91, Cromwell up into Windsor, 291, 384, okay. East of the river, 2 eastbound, moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. Heading into Middletown, 9 south, a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. Westbound 84 is sluggish from 26 to 25 in Waterbury. If you're heading down in toward New Haven right now, seeing some slow traffic from 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy, windy, and cold tonight with the low down to 23. Breezy and chilly day for us as we head through Friday. Not as cold as it's been. It's still going to feel very cold, though. Partly sunny with that breeze. The high 38 is going to feel like it's down in the upper 20s, low 30s at times. Mostly cloudy, little snow at times late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Little or no accumulation, the low down to 26. I could be a coating to an inch early Saturday morning, and then variably cloudy throughout the rest of the day. A high 34. Saturday night, clear and cold, the low down to 23, and mostly sunny Sunday, a high of 39. Currently, it's 30 in Danbury, 27 in Waterbury, Bristol at 26, and 27 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition, available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Where is my life headed? Will I find true love?
Should I change careers?
When you have important questions, California Psychics has answers. Over 400 gifted psychics available 24/7, helping people just like you. And California Psychics makes this promise. Your psychic reading will be the best you've ever had. Satisfaction guaranteed.
My California Psychic experience was primo. I was just astonished. I never expected that.
Secure and confidential, California Psychics has given over 8 million readings. Just call 800-PREDICT. 800-PREDICT.
First, I had the chills and I felt choked up.
Our psychics will help you find love, happiness, and your true life path. Need someone to listen? Call 800-PREDICT. 800-PREDICT.
I definitely think California Psychics was the best
I've
ever had.
Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com or download our app. Plus, new customers get 80% off. California Psychics, the psychic service more people trust.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Michael B says in the chat room, just say it, Reese. Roseanne has you trained. No, if that were true, she wouldn't yell at me half the time. She yells at me because there's some things that I won't do. And she's finally gotten over them. I'll tell you one of the things that I don't do. By the way, 5 o'clock focus on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Give us a call, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. If you're a guy, do you find yourself like uncomfortable if the wife is not in a good mood and you almost feel like you got to do something to remedy it?
No.
You really, Roland, not even a bit? Like your wife doesn't come in sort of stormtrooping the place and you say it was like, oh God, did I do anything? Like you're a little bit nervous. What did I do?
No.
Really?
If I know if I did something. If I did something, then that's different. But if she's just
in a bad mood?
In a bad mood, She gotta figure that out.
Really? And what, do you stay away or do you?
Yeah. I'll just go upstairs in the room and close the door. Or she's upstairs, I'll go downstairs.
And you won't even ask.
I won't ask, because if you ask, you're gonna get a lot more than what you're bargaining for.
So you
gotta wait it out,
right?
And then she'll come after she's calmed down. She'll come and tell you what the problem is. I'm a straightforward. I tell her I don't want no sides, no dressings. Just give me the meat and potatoes of the story.
Okay, so you don't want to know what about Susan, who's in accounting.
Yeah.
And, we used to be friends, but then we got.
No. As soon as she start that, I'm like, I'm out of here. Unless you get to the point, I'm out of here.
Totally. Okay, so let me give you the background on this, and then we'll get to the calls. 860-522-WTIC. Here's what happened. And it was, again, something that I did. I'll start it off with me. But so I had a very long day yesterday. So I had a job I had a moving job, plus I had the office I had to go to. We're to deal with a client there, and then deal with a client back at U-Haul, and then come prepare for the show, then do the show, and then something else I had to do immediately after. But whatever it was a very busy day. And I was tuckered out roughly about 10 o'clock. And I didn't really want to go to sleep because I hadn't watched, and I DVR Brett Baer, The Five, and Jesse Waters' show, because, of course, most of those things happen during the show, like right now. So I watch them because I find them entertaining, and some of the commentary and the back and forth on The Five, I really love that. And I like Brett Baer. And Jesse Waters' show has become entertaining over the last couple of months. So I'm going there, and I'm watching the last half hour of Jesse Waters. It's about 10 o'clock, and I'm falling asleep, apparently. I don't know I'm falling asleep, but I am. And my wife is going, here, give me the remote. I'm turning the TV off. And so I'm like, I'm not sleeping. And she's like, yes, you are. You're sleeping. But I'm getting irritated that she's saying that I'm falling asleep. I don't think I'm falling asleep, but I am. It gets so bad, Roland. This is how bad it gets. It gets so bad that she videotapes me falling asleep the second time around. And I realize it because the TV is playing while I'm sleeping. And then while I'm sleeping, I realize I'm not hearing anything on the television in the middle of my slumber. And I wake up, and she's got the camera in my face. And I'm like, crap.
Gotcha.
Yes. I'm like, all right, you got me. So I was upset, and she was like, see, you said that you weren't sleeping, and I told you were sleeping. So now she's upset that I called her a liar by saying I was sleeping. So and when I'm calling her a liar, she's a liar. You know how that works. So she's like, you're calling me a liar. I was like, I never called you a liar. I just said I wasn't sleeping. Yes, this means you're calling me a liar. So anyway, that keeps blowing up. And then finally, I finally go to bed. We go to bed and all that other stuff. And I wake up in the morning, and I say to myself, okay, don't disturb her. She's sleeping. She's clearly still mad at you, right? Just don't poke the bear on this one. Just get up. Well, anyway, I wake up. I get the coffee ready, so she'll have it in the morning. I grab myself a cup, and I'm about to walk out. Well, apparently she wakes up before I walk out the door, and she goes, honey. And I'm like, uh-oh. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in the kitchen. And I come into the bedroom. She's like, oh, you woke up without me. And I'm like, oh my God, she's in a good mood. I was like, I thought she'd be in a bad mood. So the whole morning, I was in a gripey mood, ticked off, because I'm thinking she's still mad from last night. She's waking up. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. I was kind of in a dark place. She was like, what happened? I was like, I thought you were still mad at me. So I was kind of tiptoeing around the house thinking that you were mad, and I didn't want to wake you up while you were sleeping. She was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm like, why? She was like, I was only yelling at you because you kept saying you weren't asleep. And I wanted you to sleep because you had a long day, and I want you to get your rest. She goes, the only reason why I was yelling at you is because you refused to go to sleep and rest. I'm like, so you're not angry? She was like, no, I was concerned about you. So I put myself in this tizzy because she wasn't angry. And because I thought that she was yelling at me about wanting to go to sleep. And it turns out I'm twisting myself into a pretzel, making myself uncomfortable when she's not angry at me. But then I'm realizing that her emotion is now affecting me. That's how bad it is. So I'm like, what the heck? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can't let it get to you, man.
I know. I wish
That's your problem.
It is. No, trust me.
That is your problem.
Anybody who knows.
You let those little things just tear you up inside.
As the queen of all queens, Taylor Swift said in her last album, it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. 860-522-WTIC. Aaron's in Goshen. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey, how you doing, Reese?
What's up, buddy? I'm sure you don't want to talk about my nonsense. What do you got?
Well, I could piggyback on that, but
Yeah,
I'll also
sure.
say something that helps me with understanding the female psyche, because all us men don't understand that.
Right.
And this is the reason why. Men are designed to be problem solvers.
Yes.
So your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, comes to you with a said problem. And she tells you, oh, this happened, that happened, and you're thinking of ways how you can resolve the problem. Well, she doesn't want you to resolve the problem. She just wants you to listen, because that's what women want to do. They just want to vent about stuff. Where we're like, you put a problem in front of us. Okay, how do we fix it? How do we rally the troops? How do we get this done? Like we gotta move on to the next thing, right? That's like the male mindset.
I don't understand. But here's the part that I don't get, Aaron. And again, I've posed this question to hundreds of men, right? Okay, women. I've even actually posed this to women. So women want us to listen, which brings me to my original point, and I think you just made it. What does that solve? Because it's got to solve something. Right?
They don't want their problem solved. That's where the difficulty is.
Yes.
Because we're designed to problem solve. We're designed to hunter gatherer. Like,
yes.
Oh, we're starving. Okay, go kill something, bring it back, we can eat. Okay, that's the primitive programming that's taking place in our minds.
Oh, I love the fact that you called it primitive.
They will point out a problem. Is it not? We'd all
go no. I love the fact that you called it primitive, because that's what it is. It's so simple. It has to be primitive.
Where they're like, oh, we don't have any food. We don't have this. It's like, oh, we got to figure out what we got to do.
Yeah.
But at the same point too, they don't want you to fix their problem at some point. They just want to feel heard. And it took me a long time to figure that out, because my wife would come to me with a problem, and all of a sudden I would come up with a solution, and that wasn't what she wanted, and we'd end up in a freaking argument over God knows what. And now I'm exiling myself down to the basement or out to the garage or wherever, until the storm blows over, right? Because
But you actually,
we all know when we got to get out of the room. Like, the kitchen's too hot. Get the heck out of here.
You solved something for me, because think about this, right? One of my biggest problems with the wife is, what are we going to eat, right? Like when she says, I'm hungry. And I would attribute this whole conversation about she only wants you to listen, right? And she'll say, I'm hungry. So I'm like, sweetheart, what would you like? And she goes, I don't know. And in that moment, I'm saying to myself, is she hungry, or does she only want me to listen to the fact that she's hungry? Is this where she wants me to...
What I want to start doing is writing, I don't care, whatever you want, or I don't know. And I'll just put that on a piece of paper and fry it in a frying pan. Like, oh, that's what you wanted. You want an I don't know, I don't care.
That might work. That might get me somewhere for her to. But again, this is that thing where we do this thing where after we take our walk, we go and get snackies. Like, it's sort of like our gift. And when she goes there, she'll walk around and she goes, I don't know what I want. You know what I do? I immediately walk to the other side of the store. I try to get as far away from her as I can, because I know that this is going to turn into a fight. I just know it. I just have to get away from her. And I'm
because if you suggest something, it's the wrong something.
Oh, it's always.
Why would you suggest such a thing? And
yes.
You're like, that doesn't compute.
I'll never forget.
My mind is not working.
Aaron, this is exactly what she said to me. I made a choice for her one day when she couldn't decide something, and her response was, do you hate me?
Jeez. Where do you go from there?
I don't know. You can't go anywhere. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you, sir.
Have a good night.
You got to have a good night. Lori's in Glastonbury. And Lori, help me, please.
To quote Hamilton, can we get back to politics now?
What do you got? I'm sorry. It's just something that just got to, it happens all the time. And I know that it makes me uncomfortable. And so I don't know whether or not, I know it's my problem, but it's just something that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know how one person's personality, whether or not they're happy or not, has been this effective on my life. I've never experienced anything like it before.
Yeah, I don't understand why men get all jiggity about that kind of stuff. I am not that woman who like I'm not necessarily venting to you. I'm a fixer, so I'm going to fix my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be just telling you like, but if I'm just telling you about like, or if I'm venting or whatever, I'm going to preface it, but like by saying, I don't want you to fix this, just listen. Your job right now is to just listen.
Can you explain to me, just give me that point. Give me this so I can understand it, at least from your point of view. Okay, so you just want the guy to listen. Can you please tell me the reason you want them to just listen? Is this just, I want someone to yell to, not yell at, but yell to or vent to? Is it a venting thing?
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes it's just venting. Sometimes it's just, I just need to process this.
Okay.
And if you could just listen to, so that I just need to talk out loud. Talking out loud is going to help me figure out how I'm feeling about or what I'm thinking about this particular thing. Sometimes that's all it is. But in all seriousness, like quoting the musical Hamilton, can we get back to politics?
Yes,
Are we done with this now?
Yes, we're done with this. What do you got, Lori?
Oh, good. So so in the monologue, I don't know, do you listen to the other shows during the day? Because in your monologue, I rarely ever call into Tom's show.
Okay.
But I called in today because this whole thing with the wildfires and whatnot. And I had mentioned how Gavin Newsom, how Ned Lamont emulates Gavin Newsom and how that, like, where does that leave Ned now? And then like, what about Newsom's, presidential aspirations?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had said all of this stuff in the monologue. And in my mind, you're like, oh, Newsom's, presidential, like they're all going to lose. The Democrats are going to lose all the time now, but not necessarily in California, because he enacted all of this crazy legislation that isn't going to ensure that elections are free and fair.
Yeah, but that won't make a difference because now he's still got to affect this thing, right? The thing that he has to affect is the hearts and minds of the people of California. He has no interest in running again after 27. 27, it's over for him. 28 is the holy grail for him. He believes his governance of California is going to get him there. The other things, like the incidental stuff, like spending money on climate change, spending money on the homeless, trying to do affordable housing, pushing back on the Trump administration. He thinks those things are winnable in the 28 campaign. What I'm saying is that the people that were devastated in these fires, forget about it. It's a done deal. He's never going to get the support on a national level because everybody knows exactly what happened and what caused the fires to get out of control. California, as far as how it relates to Connecticut, on the other hand, for me, and maybe it is, Lori, maybe we have this sort of kindred spirit here that we're seeing it the same way. And that is, we know that over the last couple of years, that's all Ned Lamont has been talking about, how he's been emulating California. Well, this right now is a test of Ned Lamont's mettle. Do you really want to be like California, or maybe we're going to go in a different direction? And I think one of the ways that we found out he's not was when he pulled back the EV car mandate. Remember that? Right. And so it definitely leaves him in a bit of a pickle. He has to really he kind of has to figure out, is he going to be Gavin Newsom, or is he going to start being a little bit more like John Fetterman? Exactly.
Because John Fetterman is reading the tea leaves, and he's kind of becoming the next Joe Manchin.
Indeed. And you know what? I want to talk about him in a little bit too. But Laura, you're 100% right on that. I think that John Fetterman may be the new Democrat way. He just may well be. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading into Hartford right now on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic from exit 33 down to 32 A&B. It's slowing a little bit down by 23 West Street and Rocky Hill. Northbound 91 moving well Cromwell through downtown up into the Windsor exits. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Berkeley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slows about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the Berkeley Bridge. 291, 384 okay. Look out for an accident westbound Route 2 just west of exit 10 In East Glastonbury, some slow traffic out there. If you're heading into Middletown, you're okay on 89 in the Aragoni Bridge. Heading into Waterbury, slightly slow. Westbound 84 from 26 in Cheshire, sluggish to 25 again as you approach the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you're heading southbound on the Parkway, a little tight as you approach the West Rock Tunnel, 95 southbound, you've got slow traffic 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy, windy still tonight, the low down to 22. Then on Friday, partly sunny, breezy, not as cold, but still going to feel quite cold with a breeze and a high of 38. Friday night, cloudy, the low down to 25. Saturday, we'll get a coating to an inch of snow showers early in the morning. Otherwise, cloudy with a high of 34. Then Sunday, becoming mostly sunny, the high 39. Sunny Monday with a high of 41. Tuesday, turning out cloudy, the high of 37. Wednesday, mostly sunny, breezy, becoming colder, the high of 31, with those gusty northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, making it feel like it's well done in the 20s at best throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Fires continue to burn in the Los Angeles area. Firefighters making slow progress, but still a number of those blazes are at 0% containment. 5 have been killed, tens of thousands of acres have been burned, and over 1,300 structures have either been damaged or destroyed altogether. Former President Jimmy Carter's remains to Georgia. Following a state funeral today in Washington, President Joe Biden eulogized Carter in D.C., with other living successors attending and dignitaries, family, and friends as well. New Britain, child injured when they were struck by a vehicle earlier today. A child was hit on West Main Street, taken to Connecticut Children's for
Did
treatment.
we work on New Year's?
State police say they've arrested 3 people in connection
Yes.
with assault on another man Wednesday in Willington. Troopers say it was part of a large fight at a bar that broke out last evening on Ademic Road. The 3 being charged with various assaults and breach of peace crimes. Supreme Court will hear arguments over the fate of TikTok, the case being heard on Friday. TikTok says it plans to shut down the social media platform in the U.S. by January 19th, unless the High Court strikes down or otherwise delays the effective date of a law aimed at forcing TikTok's sale by its Chinese parent company. Markets closed today, this National Day of Mourning for former President Carter. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a
Whoa, a minute.
Timeshare. Don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
Don't need no license in here. Brought to you by the Odyssey app. What had happened was, in case you're just joining the show today, download the Odyssey app whenever you miss a show, be it mine, Brian and Company, Tom, Shattuck, whomever you want to listen to. Just download the Odyssey app so you can listen to the show whenever you want. Today, we talked about the wildfires happening in California. Of course, it is the biggest story on the planet. Everyone is covering it across the country. And we talked about Jasmine Crockett in Tubbs, the congresswoman from Texas, who was on CNN making much to do about the DEI going on in the fire department in LA County. Here's what Scott Jennings said on that front that is worth sort of, I guess, considering in all of this. He was talking to CNN before Jasmine Crockett took the microphone. Here's what he had to say.
You might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI. You might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI, we have budget cuts, and yet I'm wondering now, if your house was burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
So they didn't like that one bit. And there are 3 black women on the panel there who are obviously completely upset about this. And Jasmine Crockett responded by saying this.
I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something.
She said that we've been sharing photos of the fire chief that she believes is a woman. Jasmine Crockett in Tubbs says she believes that she is a woman. I couldn't tell. She got a bald head. She looks kind of mannish, as Austin Powers would say. Said, I believe that she is a female. Jasmine Crockett can't tell. Jasmine Crockett thinks the only thing that's female has to have a weave on it. But again, back to her earlier comment.
I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women.
Who told you that?
Nobody told her that, James Earl Jones. I apologize that you had to hear it. So that's what we were talking about today, in case you missed it. That's what had happened. Was brought to you by the Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app today if you haven't. We want it. We want people on the Odyssey app because it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you'll be able to get this and, of course, find programming throughout the Odyssey company altogether. Now let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're traveling 84 eastbound, use a little caution. We had an accident started off, I believe, in one of the travel lanes, 84 eastbound and 46 Sisson Avenue. Looks like they've got them off on the right shoulder now between exit 46 and 48. So you got looked at delays. Now, about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Use caution between 46 and 48 once again. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulky Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91 some slow traffic, 33 down to 32 A and B. After that, easy ride down into Cromwell. Looks real good. 91 northbound Cromwell up into Winter. 291, 384 okay east of the river. 2 westbound, look out for an accident by exit 10 In East Glastonbury, slowing you down there a little bit. If you're heading into Middletown, you're okay 90 in the Aragoni Bridge. Westbound 84 Cheshire, slowing from 26 up to 25 in Waterbury. Heading 84 eastbound in Newtown, some slow traffic as you move up on the Rochambeau Bridge. 91 in the Parkway, moving well toward New Haven. 95 southbound, delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, for tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and cold. The low down to 23. It'll be breezy, not quite as cold. It's still going to feel cold. On Friday, partly sunny, the high 38. Friday night, a little snow at times late, little or no accumulation, low down to 26. We'll get a coating to an inch early Saturday morning, then variably cloudy the rest of the day. Untreated surfaces will likely be slick, and we'll get a little higher totals on the non-paved surfaces, the high 34. Saturday night, clear and cold, the low down to 23. Mostly sunny and not quite as cold as we had through the day on Sunday, the high up to 39. Currently, it's 27 in Waterbury, also in New London. Mansfield at 25. It's 27 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
We all have insecurities. Your smile shouldn't be one of them. Come visit us at Columbia Implant Center. One day, same day, 7 days a week. Call 860-743-1898 or at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Now is the perfect time.
1 minute.
Success. When you apply to University of Maryland Global Campus by February 12th, you'll pay no application fee. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Get your application fee waived through February 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The following heartwarming yet informative scene is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Son, your grandpa and I used to work on this car together, and when I'm gone, I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Dad. Doesn't count. What you need is a will. Luckily, Trust and Will makes it easy. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you can easily create a state-specific, legally valid document. Now let's hear this tiger purr, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 10% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, man, that's pretty much it. We got to wrap this puppy up. And we've got to get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be fun to do that. Don't forget tomorrow.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
The airing of grievances. You can call us up. By the way, leave your grievance on the phone at 202-735-1288. Again, that's 202-735-1288. We will keep that up here on the screen as well. If you want to watch the show, you can go to reeseontheradio.com and you can view it there. You can even blow it up, put it on your television. A lot of people watch it on TV. I appreciate them. That they would want to watch Reese on the Radio on their television is a big deal, considering when I was a kid, all I ever wanted to do was be on television. I don't want to be a child actor or anything. Those kids scared me. child actors, the story of that stuff scared me. I just wanted to be on top. I did this one thing on television. Do you know who Ed Gordon is, Roland? Are you familiar with him?
No.
Okay, Ed Gordon used to be the host of a round table kind of like it wasn't like The View. It was like every other round table show with a bunch of people talking about the topics of the day and then giving their opinion. And I was offered an opportunity to do Ed Gordon's BET show. And it was myself, and I can't remember who the other three people were on the show. I know one of them was a sportscaster with dreads, a sports writer for the New York Times with dreads. And it was my first real time on one of those professional programs. And that was like, I was so excited. And the local bar that I lived on 31st Street in Lexington. And the local bar was a place called KD's. And we all went down there to go watch my appearance on the air. And the whole bar was there. It was a big, huge thing. And I remember how proud of myself that I was that I made it on television. And ever since that experience, I hated it. I really hated it. And I've done everything from CNN to, what is it? The HLN. Is that what that is? HLN? Headline News? Yeah, HLN. I've done all of those sort of like news programs that back and forth and, arguing about, topics. I did Fox Business for a little while. They had a series called Down on Main Street that I did for a bit, talking about the finances of the incoming administration. We were talking about the Bush administration, and at that time when all of the markets were crashing, and it was right before the election, and they brought me on Fox Business for that. So I've wanted to be on TV. I've done a lot of TV. I've done the whole microphone and talking into the camera on location and stuff like that. I wasn't really a fan, but I like this doing it this way and being on radio and you being able to watch it. I get to control it in a way. I like that. Somebody asked me, it's like, do you have a producer? I'm like, no, I couldn't have a producer. Not in the sense of like a Roland. Like Roland is the perfect producer because he has a separate job from me, as it were. If Roland had to do like my audio clips and stuff like that, Roland would hate doing it. That's one. And I don't blame him. Roland, if anyone ever asks you to do that kind of stuff, I want you to refuse. Put your foot down. But you used to do, you used to do that kind of stuff at ESPN, right?
Well, I did a lot of stuff over there. Yeah.
Yeah, but when did you do live broadcasts where you gotta pop up the video, like you gotta do the video clip and pop that up and do the graphics and all that other stuff? Was that kind of your gig?
No.
You didn't do
I
any
did
of
all
that?
the music.
What? Wait a minute. How about when you did all the music? Meaning you just cued all the music at the breaks?
No, I had to meet with the composers.
Oh.
Go through how they wanted it, from the meeting that we had at ESPN, how they wanted everything to sound, then relay that back to the composer, get a couple drafts, go back and forth.
So you had to go to the actual, you had to go to the music department, and they would produce the.
No, I was the main guy in the music department. I worked in the music department.
So did you have to create all of that sounds that we heard, like
Yep.
not that,
Yep.
but things like that?
Yep, I would have a 2 or 3 page list of different edits I had to make for the ESPN Sports Center at 3, and then at 6, and then at midnight and 11, and then I did a lot of stuff with college football and NFL Sunday Countdown with the NFL. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So in all of those clips that we were hearing during that time, that's all you.
Yeah, if right now my still to this day my ringtone is the college football theme, because literally I was in the process of creating that from start to finish, and then I did all the editing for it too. So
Are you saying that what we hear now in the college football
Yep.
thing, is that yours?
Ba-da-da.
Really?
You have to call my phone and then they'll be able to hear it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even know that. So in essence, you have an actual. Now, is there if you don't mind my asking a financial personal question, is there a
No.
no licensing for that?
No.
So
ESPN, once you work for Disney,
Yeah.
anything you produce
create
under
is
Disney
theirs.
is theirs. Yeah.
Yeah,
You sign that right when you get hired.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, you would have if you want want the job.
Yeah, you're right.
have-
I gotta sign my babies
all
away.
what people don't know is because of that one rule,
Mm-hmm.
ESPN has technology that nobody else has.
Really?
Because it was created by engineers and IT people under their watch.
Wow.
So because of that, they get the credit like in a job, like they get raises and monetary bonuses and stuff like that. But they can't take that outside to any other company and say, hey, this is what I.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you create an official sound, right? An official music for college football, whatever the program might be, right?
Yep.
At the end of the program, you're still getting a credit there, right? I mean, it's a what do you call it? Not a digital credit. What's the other credit that I'm talking about? A print credit.
Print credit. In some cases, yeah. But what you would get is if that show won an Emmy, you would go to the Emmys, like the sports Emmys.
Really?
And you'll get an Emmy. Yeah, I have 2 Emmys.
No, get out of here. My man. Now, hold on. You can't keep that information from Reese on the radio. You understand that? First of all, you need to be shouting that to the rafters. That
No. That I was just because I was a part of the process.
It's
not
not
like I was like the main worker on
No.
on a project.
Listen to me. First of all, right? Okay.
It's like the people that wash all the jerseys and for the NFL when they win the Super Bowl, those people get rings too. It's kind of like that.
You don't sell yourself short, dude. Don't even do that. Okay, you worked in the music department. You're in the meetings. You're giving them the sound that they're looking for. You play a role in some of that sound, right? Producing some of that sound, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, then don't give me any crap. Don't write yourself off. 2-time Emmy Award-winning producer, Roland Matthews. That's right. Okay, so you know what? First of all, that just adds on to my credibility. Just like when I told you listen to me. When I said to Ethan, wow. I said to Ellis, I said to him, you're gonna go to West Point or not? He was like, what's the big deal with you and West Point? I said, hey, it's not about you. I get to put it on the card. When people ask me where did your boy go, I say he goes to West Point. That's about me. Okay, so we can add on those kudos to Reese on the radio, and I can say it's Reese on the radio, brought to you by 2-time Emmy-winning producer.
Nah, don't do that.
I know. Listen, you're too shy for that. That's the reason why you need me. I'm the perfect wingman for you. You understand that? I will let everybody know this guy. You have an Emmy? Where's your Emmy? Huh? This guy's got 2 of them. He's got books in between them. They're bookends. He's got 2 of them. So, if you don't mind me asking, what years are they for? Are they consecutive? Years?
It was in the same year. No, it was 2 different categories.
You got wait a minute, 2-time in 1 year? Listen to me. If you're not going to give yourself kudos, you can be embarrassed as you want to. I am going to shame you into bigging this stuff up. And by the way, Richard A says, kudos, Roland, and you do deserve it. That's a big deal, dude. I would love to have won an Emmy, even if I was just like,
I wasn't even invited to the
What?
Yeah, because every department gets a certain amount of number of people going. So the big boss dogs in my department got to go.
Yeah, well, they got to go. But here's my question. Okay, so now I got to know, since you weren't at the Emmy Awards to actually go up on stage and have those people hand you that Emmy so you can look proud in front of the black ties, let me ask you this. How did they deliver the Emmy to you?
It was just on my desk when I came in one morning for work. It was just sitting there on my desk.
Wait a minute, both of them were sitting on your desk? Like you walk to your desk and like you walk in and Emmys are sitting there?
No, just one.
But you won 2.
Yeah, but it's like a what do you call it? It's like a team thing.
Oh, okay. So there are 2 Emmys, but Everybody gets one.
Yeah, everybody gets one in the department. We all got one.
Okay, last question. Is your name on yours?
It's no. It's actually it says Roland Matthews, ESPN Music Department.
Oh, so it does have your name on it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I envy you. I envy you. It's not often when you ever meet an Emmy Award-winning producer. It's not.
I wasn't a producer there.
Listen to me. What was your job?
I was a music assistant / script writer.
Well, nonetheless, so I've never ever met an Emmy. I don't think. Do I know any Emmy winners? I'm starting to think. I know this other guy. I know a guy who was nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, it's not like when you go to the Emmys. Oh, the TV Emmy. It's the sports Emmys. It's a smaller.
Is it better than the daytime Emmys?
Well, was that for the
for the
stories?
soap operas? Yeah,
the stories.
The stories.
I'm not gonna say anything against that because my grandmother was an avid.
Oh, is it okay?
She was an avid watcher.
I would never
of that,
listen to me. Susan Lucci, the what do you call it? The Emmy that wasn't for like 13 years. I think it was even longer than that. I think somebody might correct me. I think it's like 20 something years she didn't win one. And that woman's the queen of the soap operas. So I know she didn't win them. But I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
I was actually very upset because the one that I really wanted to win, is the reason why I left the company. Well, I didn't leave the company. I was escorted with the other 300 people they laid off at that day.
What was the Emmy that you wanted?
I wrote a script, and it took me like 2 months to even get it approved for a meeting because my bosses was like, stick to what we hired you for.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Yeah, pretty much stay in your lane. And we're the guys that come up with the ideas type situation, even though they said, we welcome all your ideas. This is why you're here to advance ESPN and all that stuff.
And then when you get there and it's sort of like, don't change, we changed nothing.
Yeah. So
stick to the script.
So that was my mistake. You live and you learn, but I was young trying to take chances and wanted to better my future. So I decided you're gonna laugh. I've never told this story besides like my immediate family. So
okay.
And I'll try to be quick. I thought it was a good idea. At the time, the ESPN CEO was John Skipper.
Okay.
I thought it was a good idea. I saw him in a calf, and I said, let me just walk up to him and introduce myself and say I have a great idea that's going to bring more millennials to watch ESPN. And so I did that. And when I did that, he said, okay, give me your name again. And he took my name in his phone. And then 2 days later, I got an email from his secretary saying, hey, we scheduled a meeting with you and John. I was like, oh, snap. So then I had to prepare a proposal, and I did all of that, and he loved the idea. And when I left the meeting, he immediately sent it down the chain. We need to do this. I had a great conversation with Roland, and that was the end of my career as ESPN.
What? Because you got that close to the big guy.
No, because I jumped over everybody else. You can't, even though you can do that, but you can't.
Protocol.
It's protocol. So. Yeah. And I was young. I didn't.
I
knew at the same time, but at the same time, I was like, I'm tired of them refusing all my ideas. I'm here for a reason.
Let me tell you this, Roland, and I will say this to you. Listen to me. Never, ever sell yourself short for taking a chance. Remember, there are people in this world who have never taken a chance, never taken a shot in their life, and have ended up nowhere because of fear. I would have rather you gone in there and been a complete headhunter. It's the theory that I tell to my employees all the time. I'd rather you ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. Because if you think that the idea was right, at least you're thinking. And I like that about you. And again, I am so glad to be around a 2-time Emmy-winning producer, but whatever, music engineer, whatever the case may be, from ESPN. Thank you, man. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, and so plan your work and work your plans. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. He's two-time Emmy Award-winning producer, Roland Matthews, and he is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. You got to give it up for him, Mark.
Yeah.
You got to give it up for him.
Absolutely. Have a great night, guys. We will see you tomorrow. If you're heading into Hartford right now, Westman 84, a little top of the...
Man, he went back. That's the old, 90s one.
If you are traveling on the eastbound side of
Indeed,
84,
he
look
did.
out for a problem.
Oh, I hope I didn't embarrass you, man. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't speak on it because I wasn't like I said, I wasn't the forefront in it. I was just a part of the team that made compositions and blah 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 blah.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's
quiet in
for me,
Middletown.
it's good
If
fodder.
you are heading on the northbound
people
side
now will give you the credit you
Berlin
deserve.
Turnpike,
My mom was like, "Put that on your LinkedIn." I was like, nah, man.
it's up near Deming Road on the northbound
Absolutely.
side of the Turnpike. Could have an
I'm looking
accident
for this email, by the
at
way,
the
and
intersection
I
of the
don't-
Berlin
I
Turnpike
don't
and
have
Deming
an
Road. Slowing you
inter-office
down there.
email.
Looks a little slow through that stretch.
Oh, maybe you don't because everybody just used the Reese on the radio.
Yeah.
Down in towards
I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
95
All right,
is
yeah,
between
send it to me so I
44 and
can
43 in
read
West
that.
Haven.
All right, cool.
Weather together
Okay,
on the
thanks,
8th.
man.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Tonight, partly cloudy, still windy. The low down to 20.
All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Zach. Hey, Zach, thanks again for calling in. I appreciate you. Michael A., have a good night. Sokolowski, you be good too. We love you. Stay good.